Hello, everyone. Welcome to Girls Run These Worlds. I am Evers Burke. I use she, her pronouns. And I will be your Grail guide tonight as we play some Inspirisles. We're on episode 3 of our 6-episode run. For those who are not aware, Inspirisles is an all-ages tabletop role-playing game promoting storytelling, empathy, and depth awareness with an emphasis on cooperation. What does that mean? Well, part of what that means is that we're going to be learning some sign language live on stream. We are none of us experts at sign language, but we'll be doing our best. And while we play, there will be some sign language alphabet showing so that you can play along. So yes, without further ado, let's introduce our cast again.
What order? What order?
Yeah, I know,
It's the order that you're on my screen.
No!
Your least
Not our
favorite.
star signs?
Yeah.
And how cool
we're
you
gonna
think they are in that order?
Yeah, secretly. Yeah. No, it's the order you're on my screen, which is the order of how cool no, it's not. Okay. First up we have Taylor playing Briar. Taylor, tell them who you are and who Briar is.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm an Aquarius, which is apparently the coolest star sign now, officially. But I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Briar, who is Earth affiliated. I don't know why I put it that way.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
You can use her affiliate link down in the description. Make sure you go and get some good flowers. Don't forget Briar 20 for a 20%. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can use my Amazon storefront for Briar, but that's me.
Cool. My husband's an Aquarius and I'm an Aquarius rising, so I agree. Hey. We are the coolest. Cool. And next up on the screen we have Maddie playing Bobby.
Hello, yes, I'm Maddie. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Bobby, also she, her. My star sign is Pisces, which is appropriate because Bobby is a water element. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay, amazing. Gaskinator playing Dahi.
Hello, I am. Hang on, I'm gonna get it. Gas can a tour. And I am playing she, her pronouns. I am playing Dahi, he, him pronouns. I am a Taurus, which is an earth sign. Playing air sign or air elemental characters. So that doesn't match up. Also, I've never met two Tauruses that are the same, so I don't understand what the link between the personalities is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I'm not good at the star sign stuff, I will admit.
Both of my parents are Tauruses, and they're supposed to be stubborn, and that is true.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's stubbornness and being driven, because my partner is a Taurus.
For sure. Cool. Next up, we have Fiona playing Morgan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fiona. And then I am playing Morgan. And my element is air, and I'm a Libra, so you can imagine what this is all doing to me right at this second. I'm going, I don't like any of this. Where is the balance? Where is the just general rules, etc. But I'm very happy to be here back for round 3.
I am also a Libra. It's sun sign, which I feel like is such a GM thing. It's like
really
I will create balance, perfect balance, and
will
control.
Justify everything.
Yeah, exactly that.
And I'm the bull in the China shop for them DMs.
Perfect. And last but certainly not least, we have back with us Nox playing Ellie. Hey.
Hi everyone. I am Nox. Right, that's the X in ASL, right? Someone else. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't know. I always forget that one. I'm playing Ellie. That one's a lot easier. And Ellie is a fire person, and I am a Cancer, which is a water sign. So, but my moon is a Scorpio, and I'm pretty sure those are fire signs. I literally only know like
Scorpio is water. You're like double water.
Wow,
but
double
water.
What about Capricorn?
Capricorn is Earth.
Earth? Okay. Well, I'm very not fire then. So this
Well, Scorpios are very passionate, so maybe that's
why I
we're
thought
feeling.
they were fire.
Yeah.
I know Cancers are very emotional. I know Scorpios are very passionate, and I know absolutely nothing about Capricorns. So
They again ambitious, driven. Yeah. That's what I know about Capricorns. I don't know many Capricorns personally.
My great grandmother, my granny, was a Capricorn, and she's the only Capricorn I've actually ever met. I'm starting to believe they don't exist.
Capricorns are
There
myth.
are so many Libras, and when you're a Libra, you have to not think about it too hard because you are a Christmas baby, like basically.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Scorpios because of Valentine's Day, but there's also I know a lot of Cancers and I know a lot of Tauruses. I know a lot of Aquarius and Pisces, Leos, but I swear I have never met a Sagittarius, and I've only ever known one Capricorn. And I'm starting to think that people aren't born at those times of the year.
Sagittarius
Anyway,
and Capricorns
we do actually have a stream to do.
Yes,
I'm going to be a Libra right now.
I'm ready to play the story.
Okay. Yes.
No, leave it in the chat if you're a Sagittarius.
Yeah, get in the chat. Tell us about the star signs. Explain it to us. Okay. Recapping what happened last time. Last time, we managed to return our nervous Nimbus hatchling, nicknamed Kevin by the group, to his mother and cured his wing shyness in the most extreme way imaginable by tumbling 200 feet off of a bridge that we had created. You were safely rescued by his mother Nimbus and taken to the nest. On the way to do that, you also discovered what appears to be the burial mound of none other than the Black Knight of Arthurian legend, Mordred himself. In that mound, you found a skeleton that appeared not to be completely anatomically correct. Some of the bones appeared to have been switched around. And we also found the hilt of a broken sword, now securely fastened to Dahi's utility belt. Yeah, that's the basic recap of what happened last time. There are a lot of other stuff, but you want to know, catch up on the stream. Tonight we will start with a little bit of downtime. We're going to go ahead and say that the Nimbus mother rescued you out of the sky as you fell, took you to the nest, and then put you safely back on your path, reunited with your ponies, and you were able to trek back home without any incident, getting back just after nightfall to the questing cabin. And we're going to say that at this point over dinner, Scriv tells you that you have a day off tomorrow before you're going to head off on the start of a tour. This tour that Scriv does with all of the new Pendragons to go around the different communities of the Fae and meet them and say hello. Scriv explains that there will be a welcome party at a lot of these things. The Fae are going to be very excited to meet you. But until then, you have a day to just prepare yourselves, relax, and do whatever you choose to do at the time. So I'm going to ask anybody if they have a downtime scene they would like to play out. If you have something you would like to do, I'm going to ask other players if they would like to join in that scene, and then we will play through those. And we'll do that until you're happy that you've done what you wanted to do with your downtime. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. Does anybody have an opening suggestion? Oh, yes. Nox,
I want to duel somebody since Ellie was
duel?
sitting back.
Yeah.
I want to duel somebody.
Well, who are you going for?
Are you going for top dog?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to work your way up the chain?
Well, I was going to say either I could work my way up or I could just try to see if I could be Morgan, which I think would be really fun.
What? Why me?
Don't act like you don't know.
You know exactly why, because I think Ellie's just Ellie's parents are both professors at a very prestigious university, which gives her this thing where people who are very yes, I'm the leader, I am the smartest one here, irk her.
Oh, that's where it's coming from then. All right, sure.
Okay, great. So does Morgan accept the duel?
I guess, sorry to bat it back a little bit. What would you do, Ellie? Would you sort of catch Morgan as we're on our way, getting back to the cabin, or how do you approach it? Out of interest.
Yeah, I just catch her and be like, hey, really quick. I know I kind of sat back during the other duels. I wasn't really feeling well, but I was wondering, if you and I could. I just want to see if I'm going to try to work my way around and see if I can try up everybody. But you seem like most likely to
you
say
need
yes.
a teacher. Of course, I'll
Mhm.
take this upon myself to. I mean,
Teach me your ways.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know Briar would be heartbroken, but you know what? Just between us, we can do this together.
Yeah,
And I
sure
properly
Briar
grab
would
your
understand.
hand and hold it. And I'm like, I would take this honor to teach you the ways of dueling.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Great. So yes,
Great.
I accept, but maybe not in the way I think.
Okay, so you're doing this like here on the lakeside at night, sort of lights from the cabin, the only light source and the moon. I guess the rest of the group can be here and witnessing if they want, or are you specifically trying to do this out of everybody's eye line?
No, I do want to eventually duel the others. I just Morgan first because Morgan.
Because okay, cool. So
The player Knox loves Morgan. I do want to clarify.
Oh, yeah, do not worry. I appreciate that. I will take you down though, so it's totally fine.
Yeah, bet.
So you know the rules from Sita's training. You stand 10 paces apart. You count down 3, 2, 1, go. I guess you'll get one of the other characters to do that for you.
Mhm.
And then you just go. In the ordering of elements, fire and air are kind of opposite each other. So nobody has dominance here. You are evenly matched. Nobody gets to re-roll anything. So yes. 3, 2, 1, go. And what do you both do?
So Morgan goes, so it's very simple, and I'm actually explaining what I'm doing. Totally patronizing. So I do obviously air, and I'm sure Ellie is, again, I appreciate Nox, you weren't here, but I do the exact same thing that I did to Gask and just threw a sort of Hadouken air wave straight at them. So what I'm doing is that you've got to deflect this. So I'll just do like wave, and what's the E? Oh, E. And just push that forward towards Ellie and see what they bring back.
Okay, what does Ellie do?
I'm going to I'm actually paying attention. I'm like, all right, let's build her up first. And I'm going to say, because she has to try to deflect it, fire takes up oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So the hope is that if I do a shield of fire, it will just eat the air.
Okay, that's a fair attempt. So now we roll. If you do your sign, great. We roll 3d6.
3d6.
No, that's okay. 3d6?
Just 3d6, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and we just compare results. Highest wins.
All right. Morgan got a 7.
I got 8!
Oh. Okay. So
I was like, oh, that was bad.
Nobody gets to re-roll anything,
No.
and Ellie succeeds.
Yeah.
The fire shield just eats the airwave as it comes. I will say we will go to a second round on this one because nobody's been knocked down. Everybody's still on their feet. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of like, in the head, and I'm like, sorry, that was a misfire. And this time, I proper go, just channel gas. Channel Dahi, and then, like push like Full Metal Alchemist style. So like with the air, and so almost like Sonic Boom, essentially.
Okay. Even harder she goes. What does Ellie do in response? Is she keeping up that shield?
She's gonna keep up the shield, but see if she can fireball.
Ooh, out of the center of the shield?
Return.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Okay, all right, let's roll.
Nope. Whoa. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
What did you
And-
get?
An 11.
I also got an 11.
No!
Oh, so I'm going to say it's the classic, like, Morgan redoubles her efforts and forces the air, like this whirlwind of air, towards Ellie, and Ellie shoots this fireball out of her shield, and it just meets in the middle, and they're just like just sparking off each other. The fire burning brighter for the oxygen being fired, and the oxygen not giving any quarter and not allowing the fire to reach further. Third round.
Oh my gosh.
Round 3.
And I'm just like, okay, gloves are off. And I'm just going to turn my hands like this and whirlwind, essentially, and try and drag Ellie up into the air to hopefully, if I'm successful, put them in the water. And obviously not fall from a great height, because that would be very mean. But yeah.
Just up and then into the lake.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so cool. What does Ellie do?
I'm gonna try to do have kind of like a whip of fire, like snake around Morgan, not to burn them, but to restrain her.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, so it'd be around her, not quite touching her, but forcing her to stay very still, maybe.
Yeah, both of us being in very small cylinders just now of various elements.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Man, this is very tense.
Yeah.
Okay, I got an 8.
I got a 13.
Ah!
Well
played. Well played.
Okay.
I would be doing the numbers, but I don't know the numbers. So she kind of moves to the side. And as she does, she just whips her hand out like this, and fire forms from it and lets go from her hand and wraps around Morgan. Kind of like if she threw those, it's like a rope with the 2 balls at the end, and you throw it, and it does this to somebody.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're like booly, boo, boo, boo.
Is it like
Yeah,
a
something
polo?
like that. Yeah,
Bolos, yeah. She
Polos
uses it kind of
with
like
two
a
weights, so it.
and she kind of just wraps it around Morgan. And she isn't intending for it to burn, so I don't think it's going to burn Morgan, because that wasn't the intention.
You can make it almost like a whip, and you pull, and I fall over. And
that works too. I'll do that instead. That works.
Yeah.
So whip, and then just pull forward.
And the only thing the wind did was make your hair look really cool while it was happening.
Sidesteps
Just
a whirlwind and just very good, amazing.
Maybe it's I don't know the commercial. What is it? Maybe it's natural. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
maybe
born
Ellie.
with it.
Oh, maybe she's
Maybelline.
born with it. Maybe it's Inspirisles.
Yeah, I think if you wrap it, I think because I'm caught off guard, I fall right on my face. So it's
don't even
worse.
catch yourself.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I definitely stay there for much longer than it's necessary, mostly because I'm cross with myself.
Looks like you're planking or something.
And eventually, I guess your sort of fire whip disappears, and I sort of get myself up and out.
Yeah.
I get the impression, Ellie, that you didn't need any training.
I just wasn't sure.
No, it's fine. Well
Thank
done.
you so much. You're a great teacher.
I walk past her, not shaking her hand. And I go to the lodge.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm going to call that scene. Does anybody else have something they want to do in this downtime, either the night before or in the day that you have off?
I think that Bobby would like to develop the photographs that she took in the tomb, and then potentially share them with Morgan and see if we can, if anyone has any books in their room that might have more information about the language that we could decipher.
Okay. So yeah, easily done. You approach Morgan with those.
If it's awkwardly just after my battle, I'm like, I'm
going to say you've had a night's sleep.
Okay, phew. I was like,
it's the next day.
Okay, phew. Oh, hi, Bobby.
Hi. I have this dark room in my sanctuary, which is really cool. And I've developed some of the pictures that I took yesterday at the tomb.
Oh, cool.
I'm just wondering if like you had any like books in your room that might help us figure out what the writing means or anything about Mordred.
Yeah, sure. Come in, and I open the door. I pick out one of my special items, which is a library card, because on the back of it, as we all know, it would be the library system. I say Dewey Decimal. I know there are other systems, and we'll go and search. We'll try and probably come up with keywords together, like Arthurian legend, tombs. Maybe Bobby is a bit more like, yes, tombs or something. But yeah, happy to spend a couple of hours looking through the various books.
Yeah, you spend a couple of hours doing that, and you find, you know, the standard text on Arthurian legend, things like Bullfinch's mythology, things like that. You sit down with them, and it's kind of, these are books that are from effectively your world. So they're from Earth, from the human world. So their knowledge of Arthurian legend is the knowledge that we have, not the people who've been to the Isles have. So you are able to find out that Mordred is, you know, his parentage is disputed, variously categorized as Morgana Le Fay's son, sometimes Morgase, the other sister of Arthur. But one part of his legend that is always true is that he is the person that killed Arthur in the final battle that Arthur fought in. You search around, and Brittonic is like pretty a niche area of study, and you do find some stuff, but it's pretty impenetrable, and like translating old, worn, centuries old carvings that are actually wouldn't be that easy to read even if this was your first language. You manage after 2 hours to put together you're starting to get some words, not necessarily full sentences, but things like you do get a phrase worm friend. And that's one thing. That everything else is kind of just a word here and there, like the or for, or you know, perished, things like that. But worm friend is the one thing that you get. You're like, what's that? So yeah.
I think because I'll be making notes in my journal, and if Bobby's willing to have a copy of some of those photos that I can put in the journal, I'll happily give you notes. So almost like we don't have to role play it, but just like in bean bags, handing over various things, sharing information, and it's like, this is nice.
How difficult are these bean bags to get out of? How squishy are they? Are you just like,
why do you think we've been in there for 2 hours?
Guess I live here now.
No bad thing.
Are they the kind where you can only get out by literally like rolling onto the floor?
Yeah, exactly.
And doing a press up.
Yeah, I'd like to think that as Morgan puts the photos like extremely like symmetrically and neatly and like a perfect right angles in her journal, I take out my kind of angsty poetry journal and start I don't know, maybe like tearing up bits of the notes and and gluing them in sort of slightly off-kilter ways to make it more arty and probably putting Morgan's teeth on edge.
I would ask, and I do not wish to put you on the spot, Maddie, at all on this, so do feel free to know. I would what kind of stuff do you write about with your poetry?
Yeah, I sometimes I feel a bit sad, and it helps to write it down to help me figure out kind of how I'm feeling and help me feel a bit better. I don't know. And sometimes it's just like cool stuff that I've seen that I think is interesting, or yeah.
That's cool. Like expressing yourself like that. I mean, I've never actually done a poetry class. I just like finding out information and stuff and keeping it here and then put it on the journal. If we've got time, obviously I know you're very busy and I'm very busy, you know, like saving the all's well and stuff, but could you show me how you do poetry at some point?
Yeah. It's kind of instinct. I don't know if there's anything.
What? There's not rules. There's not like iambic pentameter or
I
word
mean,
count.
yeah, you can. There are lots of poems that use rhyme schemes and things and meters, but I tend to be more freeform with it.
Free form. Okay.
Yeah, but if having a structure helps you, then then that's also great.
Cool. It's nice to like have a friend here. It's been a bit weird. Like I not used to working in a team. That got brought up at the last parents' evening.
I mean, I think this is a good chance to like try new stuff, and I think you're doing really good so far.
Oh, Morgan doesn't say anything to that. And carries on working in silence.
Okay, lovely.
I feel so bad.
Yeah. To completely change tack, what is Dahi up to?
Yes. Meanwhile,
I was gonna say at the end of this heartfelt discussion, you hear I hear
no.
Dorm working. You know it's Dahi because it's like
I have like one moment, and I roll out the beanbag, obviously, and open it.
Hey, can I borrow one of your beanbags? I'm trying to do a front flip off my bed.
Shut the door. And I go, I take them. You probably hear some scraping, and I come back, and it's not the best beanbag, obviously.
Okay.
There's a small one. It's like trying something new. Here you go.
Thank you.
I would like it back in one piece.
Off. And I think Dahi is bouncing off the walls because it's not like they have to stay in one place, but I feel like he just doesn't know about the area, or like he tries going exploring, but is also like, I did see big dragon footsteps, maybe worm footsteps, and I am statistically the worst in our group of fighting based on our
I think we've shifted down the rankings a little bit, so you're even worse than before.
Yeah, exactly. I'm no longer fourth, I'm fifth. I'm air junior now. Just keep going. So like he does some exploring, but I think he's got like some kind of, even though it's only a single day, he's got that cabin fever of just bouncing off the walls kind of energy. And that's why he's trying to do a front flip in his room and is like, I fell off it the first night after our dream and that hurt a lot, so let's get a beanbag this time, safety first.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, just basically training to be even more of a menace.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool. Cool. What about Briar?
I think Briar is internally dealing with a thing where you would think that like she's been pretty successful at things, and you would think that would make her more confident, like as she's getting more successful. But I think it's the thing where she is like, I still feel the same. I still feel not very confident, which means that all of these successes are making everyone else think that I'm better than I am. And so is like kind of getting like almost more insecure, like, and the whole like leader thing is like kind of messing with her head a little bit. I think she feels really relieved that she didn't have to fight Ellie because she's like, oh, I'm kind of like freaked out about that. Yeah.
And because of that, Ellie's gonna go ask for a fight. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right now. So I think what we each have 2 belief, right? And we can use belief to upgrade.
Yes, you all
our
earned
items.
2 belief last time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gonna take her stuff to go see if she can get any of it upgraded, because she's like, maybe if I have like better stuff, then I'll be like, you know, doing a little better.
Yeah.
Oh
Does
wait,
anybody
Dahi's
else want
definitely
to-
gonna Dahi's definitely gonna go with you. I want to upgrade some things with the knockers.
How about this? Is anybody not going with Briar to go? Because you see Briar going out towards Bacto's workshop, and you all get the chance to just tag along if you want to.
Yeah, I would. We'll do a group excursion.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, I don't think Bobby's going to upgrade anything, but she's curious to see what happens.
Field trip.
Ellie just kind of gets a vibe that something's wrong with Briar.
Yeah, I think
is like-
Briar didn't like ask anyone to go. I think not because she doesn't like any of you, but just like a thing where like she's feeling kind of insecure, so she's like, I'll just go off and like do this thing by myself, and then
you hear a stampede.
kind of comes along.
Dahi, why are we running?
We gotta get there first, I think. Can they only do so much a day?
Not everything's a competition.
This isn't a competition. This is like what if they close? What if they can only do 2 upgrades a day?
We're the only shoppers, though.
We have to get there first because what if they close?
Your logic makes no sense. They just opened and also it's magic.
Look, every time I try to get my geodes processed in Stardew Valley, it just ticked past 4 o'clock and Clint was closed. Okay?
True.
Look, just too close to home. Don't.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just go before 4 o'clock?
As I was in the
Okay.
Sorry about your ears, everyone. For those who, headphones.
That just made me lightheaded.
All right. So you are heading towards this kind of like, it looks like kind of like a pine cone, this structure that you're heading towards, just off a little bit from the questing cabin, and you can see like a little bit of smoke rising from a chimney at the top of it, and there's a good solid, oak door on the cabin. I will say Briar opens the door and steps through and immediately knocks into a ladder, and you just hear a oh and crash.
Oh no! Briar, what did you do?
Large, sort of vaguely like almost spherical form of a giant mole person comes crashing to the ground and lies there going, oh, that's my back, all right. And so it gets up and just looks at you all and says, oh, you'll be the Pendragons then.
Briar,
back to.
As soon as the fall, apologizing profusely, just feels so bad. So like the whole time the recovery is just like, I'm so sorry. They told me to come in here, and like trying to like help him up.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Knockers aren't supposed to go up high. It's my own fault. Just sort of wanders off, and you see he's wearing like plain sort of shirt and trousers and a leather apron over the top, and he's kind of walking along. He's got like his dark fur like a mole and a long snout and a little pink nose, and he's got these long sort of shovel-like hands that he sort of goes to a bench and starts tinkering with something right away, and he says, I was tidying up because I knew there were new Pendragons in, and somebody had been in and ransacked my workshop. So I had to tidy all of this. And you look, and on the inside walls of the workshop, there are kind of just shelves sort of spiraling all the way up with various little trinkets and doodads on them that he's been clearly working on. And, at his sort of eye level and hand level, there are various tools that are incomprehensible. They're a bit like blacksmith's tools, but they are shiny and metallic, and they don't look like they've been put in fire. And he's just like, so what can I be doing for you? You need some infusing?
Dahi immediately distracted by the shiny objects.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
look and
flitting
there's like something that looks a bit like a can opener, but you're not sure what it's for, and like various sharp things that you could hurt yourself with. Yeah. So how does Dahi react to that?
Instant fascination to see if there's anything sword-like that he can swing around,
You have a sword.
Oh, yes, I do! Blacksmith, sir, here.
I'm not a blacksmith, I'm an infuser.
Do you know anything about swords?
He takes out like he has a pair of like goggles on his head, and puts them down, and they've got like kind of magnifying lenses on them. He takes the sword hilt off of you and starts like fiddling with them and looking closer and going, oh, well, you'd have to do some research to be sure, but I think this might be part of the missing sword Excalibur.
What? Yeah.
Huh?
I can hardly believe it myself.
Chosen one! Chosen one!
And you can see this look of utter reverence on his little mole face as he's just like, I never thought I'd get a chance to hold it myself. Where did you find such a thing?
Next to a skeleton. In a
What
tomb.
skeleton?
I don't know, Morgan. You touched it! You know the skeleton!
Suddenly, it's like,
Is somebody hurt?
no,
Well,
everything's
not anymore.
I explain what happened. I show my book, which obviously now is perfectly written out like scrapbook-wise with photos of everything, so that
So he lifts the goggles up and looks very closely at your fine print. He's like,
it's
"That's some
tiny.
tiny handwriting you've got."
It was 8 point is on it. But yeah, and explain what happened as we were delivering back the Nimbus. And yes, so we don't. I mean, it's still there, the burrow. We haven't actually told any proper adults about it, so maybe we should be doing that at some point. But we thought we'd let you know first.
Yeah, we did kind of wait a whole day to tell somebody that we found a skeleton.
Somebody
We
wants to do dueling, so
We were doing important stuff. Like, I think everything we were doing was equally important, all of us.
We also like kind of fell off a cliff, so I kind of had forgotten about it, to be honest.
That's fair.
Baxter's like, I think you should be talking to that Scriv about all of this. She's supposed to be taking care of you.
Oh, she's doing great. Like, we don't want her to get in trouble. She's been doing great.
She's
Well,
just always asking a lot of questions.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know much about barrows or about skeletons or about archaeology. I'm an infuser. So, I mean, this sword is quite the find. I know that much.
If
But,
we infuse this sword with belief, can I shoot lasers out of it like the Master Sword?
No.
When you have full health, okay.
I like this guy.
What you can do is find the other parts of the sword. If you were to find the other parts of the sword, I could reforge it, and the belief from Arthur's own sword would be so powerful that I'd be able to infuse your items with incredible amounts of belief.
Wait, have any of the other Pendragons found anything like any other pieces of the sword?
No. It was thought to be lost forever, perhaps on your side of the portal.
And no one's ever been able to heal the tree forever, right?
No, sadly not.
Do you think this sword could do it? You know, I know you fix tears by stabbing them with swords. I think that's how it works.
Perhaps. It's hard to say. We've never managed to have a full Excalibur fully formed. All kinds
Cool
of things
sword.
are possible.
Great.
Yeah, cool sword plus world-ending problem equals solved. Easy.
It wasn't that far from here, so I'm kind of surprised that none of the other Pendragons have found it.
Well, I mean, think about it. We only came across it because Kevin stopped and like looked at the devastation and stuff.
Yeah, there was a huge recent burn trail to it.
Yeah. So no one would have
Burns?
known.
Who's
I
been
go-
down in the woods?
I go back to the. I was like, no, it was on page 3, and I.
Artistic
I'm
black
sorry,
and white
I'm sorry.
photographs of trees that are like disintegrating.
Is there a way we
away.
can make your writing a little bit more accessible for them? Because
Yeah. I mean, all the pictures are appropriately credited to Bobby. Every single one underneath says Bobby's name.
but accessibility.
Yes, no, I know.
Because you're writing.
I read it aloud.
Just read
as a
it!
screen reader. Yeah, screen reader for this poor bloke.
So, well, I'm not much of a scholar, so I may not be the one you need to speak to, but I would say if you speak to Scriv, that's a good start. You'll be off to Roost, won't you? They're all scholars up there.
We're gonna roost.
Roost, it's the nearest city. It's for the glow.
Is that where the bird people are?
The glow, yeah.
The cool bird people?
Oh, are the glow
Looks
your
at you and sort of
people?
goes, no, that'll be miasma.
What?
Okay. Oops.
So about
Oh wait, no, the
confusing
glow are Scripps
items.
people.
No, the booker, Scribs people, I believe. But the glow are bird people, very educated. They're responsible for the Allswell. They'll love to meet you. Anyway, I
Confusing
am
items.
honored to have seen Excalibur. I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. I can't thank you enough. Do you have anything you want me to infuse? I can hurry up and get it done for you. I know you're supposed to be heading out tomorrow.
Look to Briar, who's the person that came here.
Yeah, I just have the little necklace, the pendant necklace that I found in my room, and I say it's like not, as cool as Excalibur, but could you? And I just kind of like hold out the necklace and say, I have some belief. If you could infuse it, maybe.
Okay, he puts his goggles back on and he starts looking at it. So the way this works is you can spend one belief to make it a +1 item. You would have to spend another 2 to make it a +2, so 3 total to make it a +2. You can only make it a +3, the rules of the game as written, if you have a fully forged Excalibur. So +2 is your ceiling until then, which is what Bacto meant, really. But yeah, you could all add +1 to a couple of your items if you wanted to spend all of your belief pool right now, or +1 to 1, or it's entirely up to you if you want to. To remind you what that's used for, that's when you do a belief barrier. If you use your items, then you add a +1 to your rolls.
And can we use up to any number of items? So say if we didn't use 2, and then in a belief barrier, can we only use 1 item, or?
I think it's narratively working in how you would use the items.
Right.
I mean, and I will allow that if it's a necklace and it's sentimental or something like that, then just holding the necklace would give you more belief in yourself. But other things you could also use practically, like if you were making a trap and you had a stick and a net, and they were both infused, something like that. That's a kind of trivial example, but yeah.
No, good. Thank you.
Looking at the character sheet, can you infuse them with an element, or is that just there?
Yes, you are able to do that. Most people stick with their element, but it is a way of adding more elements to your bow. It gets complex though, so I would look that up if that's something that you want to do.
I know with the we can also spend belief towards the tree. But I know that's in levels, right? So it's we would all have to put in a certain amount.
Yeah,
that's
Pendragon progression is if you make an offering of 8 belief to the tree, you would go up a level.
Okay.
Which leveling means that you can do things like have a +2 by using level 2 shapes, and also re-roll 2 die in disbelief battles rather than just 1.
That's really cool.
I think I'm just gonna
How
spend
much belief
1
do we all have
belief.
total?
2.
I'm just gonna spend 1, I think, and hang on to the second one to save for the tree.
Okay, so Bacto infuses your item. Are you sticking with your earth element for this? Okay, so it infuses, and when you are doing things related to earth, you can add a +1 by using this item. And again, I will allow that it's on you, and you can use it by clasping it or however you want to narratively do that. Does anybody else have anything else for Bacto? Ellie?
Yeah, I'm gonna say she didn't come with the intent to infuse it, but she thought about Scribs saying, well, you can swap things out. These aren't the things you have to take. And looking more in her room, she actually found a little sensory corner with are electronics kind of allowed? in this?
Yes, in your if it's something from your sanctuary or something you brought with you,
Yeah.
totally.
So it's an iPod with a pair of headphones.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
So that way when she gets overstimulated, she can, not have to deal with everybody. And so she'll just take out like the headphones and go, I like to infuse this, and if possible, she'll pull out a knife and be like, this.
Aye, no
Please.
problem. And so it looks at them. So you're spending your 2 belief to get a +1 to each of these things.
Yes.
And are they both fire element you're sticking with?
I kind of want to make it more complicated, but I feel bad. So I'll just say one with water and one with earth.
Okay, which means that you will be able to shape water or earth if you're using these items.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
water for the headphones and earth for the knife.
Okay, cool. Make a note of that on your character sheet. He does that. Narratively, he takes them and he does that over the next day, and you get them before you leave the next morning. It takes him a bit of time to do.
Yeah.
Anybody else for anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a kite and a slingshot that I want to
Okay.
infuse.
Element choices?
Oh, Dahi is completely convinced now and is doubling down on air being the coolest element, so he's just going to keep it.
All air all the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So he has the chance to be the avatar and said no.
Yeah.
No, then he says, I'm just going to become an airbending master.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Yeah, check off your belief. It's spent on that.
Bobby, do you want to go first if you're infusing stuff?
I think that Bobby is gonna pass on this because she's kind of thinking that she wants to save up for the world tree at this point, but might after the next adventure.
Okay.
And
worries.
Morgan will infuse. Is going to spend both of hers, her belief, the library card, and her pencil.
Nice.
Because that'll be
Okay.
important. Because I think narratively I need the journal just now because I want to show it to Scribs, so I can't leave it in the workshop. But spend those 2 belief on those 2 items and leave them there.
Okay, great. So yeah, Bacto takes all of those. Thanks you very much, and gets straight to work. Okay. Anything else you're doing in this downtime day? Any other scenes people want?
Immediately go to Scrib and go, I'm so sorry, it's been quite a 24 hours, and explain all about Mordred and the sword and everything like that, showing my beautiful working out.
Dahi is going around yelling, I have Excalibur!
Scribs looks at you and says, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What is that all about?
and go through it all again, and I'm like, and so it turns out that's Excalibur, the sword.
What? I'm sorry, that was rude. What?
I'm with you, man. We found.
Dahi, stop swinging that around. You will hurt yourself.
But it's only half a sword.
Well, at least do it outside.
Okay.
No, that is Excalibur. That is Excalibur. That's not a random sword. That is a broken bit of Excalibur.
That's incredible.
Hey Dahi, you want me to set your sword on fire?
Yes!
Do something.
Okay. Bye.
It's a sword. Surely fire won't hurt it.
Sword.
It's an artifact of if we put it all together. I don't think you're taking this as seriously as I would like you to.
I don't know how to control you people.
Well, I'm trying.
Okay.
Bobby
so
runs
Scrib walks out
outside
and
with
goes,
like
Ellen,
water.
put that fire down. Dahi, pass that sword over here. If you can't be responsible, I will be taking it for now. You can play with it later.
No, I got a sheath for it. It's fine. I'll put it back in the sheath.
Okay, well then it better not leave that sheath.
Okay.
Absolutely going to leave that sheath.
I will set Cecily on you, and Cecily's just there laughing her ass off. Okay, anyway, Morgan, what were you saying?
for the third time, we found Mordred's tomb. Blah, 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 blah. That's Excalibur. What Dahi has is Excalibur. Found Mordred's tomb. There's a help.
Okay, and she looks at your notes and your diary and gets caught up and just is like, this is the greatest find for, well, longer than I can remember. This is the stuff of tales. You found Excalibur's hilt and the bones potentially of the Black Knight himself. Oh, that's actually quite unsettling to think that they would be anywhere near here. Oh.
Also, Morgan touched the bones.
Right, no,
yeah, if you think that's
I-
unsettling, Morgan touched him.
Yeah, Morgan touched a skeleton.
Ellie,
Fully
don't be a
swapped the leg
tattletale. Tattletale. Morgan, don't touch bones.
It's not tattling if it can do something. I don't know. Like, everything here has magic in it.
Well, yes, it would be infused with disbelief, but hopefully a Pendragon would be pretty well safe from that.
But you don't.
Okay, I just want to make sure she was okay. I don't know if there's like magic in our bones.
Look, the femurs, they were the opposite way around. They'd already been moved. They weren't right. So I thought maybe if I switched them back, something would happen, and maybe we'd find out more information.
Oh, I see. You
wasn't
were
just
hoping
touching
to
them
set
randomly.
off a trap. Mm.
Well, no. She gets very quiet at this point. I just thought I was just trying to find out more information about and be helpful.
This is beyond helpful. This is fascinating. This is incredible.
A
You-
bit of a
you're
whiplash
doing-
there in emotions.
You are all doing a wonderful job. I'm just very concerned.
All right.
Should I tell you we also fell off a cliff and a Nimbus had to save us?
We've not got to that bit yet.
Yeah, that too.
You explain all that. She's like, well, that these things happen when questing, and it's a good job the Nimbus was there. But yes, Briar, with the hands.
Do people
I'm
ever?
starting to like it.
Briar's like, oh, nice.
It's starting to be preferable.
Do people ever end up here by accident?
Well, it's very rare, and really only certain people descended from certain humans are invited through the portal. The well-wishers is the system by which you came here, and the well-wishers are empowered to guide you through a portal. Otherwise, it would mean finding a Fey crossing on your side, and they are incredibly rare, tend to be situational, only appear at certain times of year in certain lights, with the stars in the right position. It's incredibly hard to get here unless you are.
I don't think
intending to
you're
be,
helping.
Or no,
Mine,
not.
it's just mine was kind of slow, and so they may have been on their way to someone else, and I just like
Oh
jumped the
no,
gun,
no,
maybe.
no. The well-wishers know. The well-wishers know who they are looking for.
You can also shoot fire out of your hands, and I don't think normal people would be able to do that.
I can't shoot fire out of my
was
Oh,
gonna
no,
say,
fire.
I go, Dahi,
Shoot fire.
I'm just thinking lasers, sorry.
Briar.
I just think everyone
Briar's
has lasers.
Hey, lasers are cool. Yes, Briar, your abilities are exceptional. There is just absolutely no way that you're not meant to be here. I'm sorry I did not
wasn't
get
saying-
the subtext of that question. To reassure you, you are absolutely supposed to be here. You are beyond welcome here, and the Fae will be incredibly excited to meet you.
Okay.
Oh, that shouldn't have been added.
What? Why?
You know, anxiety and like
Was anxiety before 2001?
anxiety existed in 2001. Yeah, how is your understanding of mental health diagnosis?
Not my area of expertise. I was 15 when I came through a portal, and I've been here
That's
since.
fair. I'm just wondering where we start. So, like,
Okay, and you explain that to her, and she's like, okay, you are under no obligation. If you don't want to go and meet the Fae, you don't have to meet the Fae. If
No.
you do want to meet the Fae, you can meet the Fae.
I do want to
You
meet
are
them.
doing a fantastic job, but if you do fail, you will still be equally worthy.
Oh, that sentence almost ended badly for quite a few of us.
Yeah, you're doing better. You're doing so much better, and I'm very proud of you. You're doing so much
We
better.
are looking. Belief is gathered by effort and being good of heart and by trying. It's more important that you try than that you succeed.
Okay. Okay, I mean, I'm good at trying. I can try. I just was, curious.
Okay.
So Yoda was wrong.
I was not.
You were alive when Star Wars has been around before you came here.
I'm a Trekkie.
I cut in at this point and say, so if we go to Roost, maybe we could find out more information about maybe where we can find bits of Excalibur, more about Mordred?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. The Glow are the perfect first Fae to meet and ask about this. We can go to the Soaring Archive. It's an area of well, there's a lot of libraries and institutions of knowledge and in Roost. It's kind of part of the Glow culture. They are great academics and scholars. They should definitely be able to help where I cannot. I mean, I know, being a bard, I know some old ballads about Mordred and things like that, but I don't I don't know the history as well as they will. So yes, that's an excellent idea. We should go and connect with the scholars there and see what they make of your find. I'm sure they'll be so excited. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure they will be a normal amount of pleased with your work. Yes, Ellie.
I kind of
Did I
want
do
to
it
really
wrong?
hear. No, you did great. I just really want to hear one of those ballads now.
Oh, amazing! And she pulls out a lute from nowhere and just starts strumming and singing. And
Oh,
it's all
Dahi
very
starts
like,
jamming. He's
yeah.
doing Fortnite dances though to whatever this ballad
Yeah,
is.
you're doing that
Ellie
for the
joins
first
in with her cane in one hand, just
15
like
minutes. The first 15 minutes are pretty fun, and then it's just like by the time she stops, you're all asleep, and then you have to be woken for dinner. It's like oh yes. In retrospect, I think a 6-hour-long ballad may not have been the right approach, but yes, you get the idea. Yes. Okay, so this is incredible.
Yeah.
Are they gonna want to take? Hang on. Are they gonna want to take Excalibur if we give them? Because they're like the uncool birds, right?
What?
Oh no, the Glow are cool.
Why did you do this?
You both have birds?
Well,
I got the cool
the Glow and the
birds.
Glimmer. The Glow and the Glimmer were originally one and the same. They diverged at a point in Fae history. The Glimmer moved underground and lost their wings plumage over time, and the Glow are still above ground dwelling, flying creatures. The Glimmer are more skeptical about the existence of pendragons. In fact, that's why they went underground, is to protest at the presence of pendragons in the Isles. But it's great. You have somebody in your midst who has an ancestor who was close with the Glimmer. That should be, if you do encounter them, that should be a great way of forging a bond. But yeah, the Glow are also cool.
You have like a textbook with all this information, because I feel like I got to study up or something before we
Or
go meet
perhaps
these people.
a 300-page PDF or 200-page
Would a long walk through the wilderness and a lot of chatting do?
Before dinner.
That works.
Yeah.
No, that's tomorrow. We'll be setting off with first light and on our ponies, and you can ask me all the questions you want on the way to Roost. Yes, Ellie.
Do you have an apple? I really want to give one to Express.
Oh, yes, absolutely. There's apples in the kitchen, always. Amazing.
Go grab it.
I think the only final quick thing I want to do, because I noticed that Bobby was trying to put out the fires earlier with water. I will go and repair any damage that has been done with Bobby outside of the questing cabin that has been done by the fire on Excalibur, and just help her with that.
There was 0 damage.
There
I'm
was
so good at
a lot of damage.
no when the
You
was all
notice that
Dahi's
the
fault.
sword itself is fine, but the kind of wrap around the handle that was already slightly rotted from being in a grave for a very long time is singed and harmed, but the sword itself is okay. The fire was not hot enough to reforge it or anything like that, because,
Oh.
you know.
Yeah, but if there's any damage to the things, I think Bobby was like, "Ah!" So I'll go and help with that, and just reassure her.
Clean
on
up
that front.
everything.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
very much just like, if there's going to be a flaming sword swinging around, I don't want anyone or anything to catch on fire that does not want to be on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you
great.
put the fire out with the water and then all the smoke happens, Dahi just makes it blow around so it looks even cooler, you know, smoke screen style.
Hey, we should use this if we ever have to sneak up on somebody.
Oh yeah, like a combo move.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do fire and then you put it out, and then Dahi and Morgan can like, right?
Yeah. And Briar will be there, and it's all great.
And Briar shifts where we were so they don't, like, the last place they seen us, you know, shifts the earth so we're somewhere else.
Ooh, or Briar can make like giant vines and we just swing in.
I'll think of something to do.
I feel so bad for Briar.
You don't have to
Who
think
is
of something
hungry?
for me. I can think of something.
No, you're a part of the team. We got you.
Mhm. Let's have dinner.
Okay. You go and have dinner. Is there anything else anybody wants to do before we call it a night and then get on the road?
I want to give Briar a hug.
That is a free action. Okay. You get a good night's rest in your sanctuaries. And the next morning, you wake up and find that Cecily and Scriv have been busy and have, saddled up all of your ponies. Everybody's ready to leave. There's a breakfast for you to eat. You have a little bit at the table, then take a little bit on the road, and you set off. And Scriv, as she does on journeys, keeps up quite a lot of chatter, just sort of like, so yes, this is a tour that we take with all of the new Pendragons, and yes, we always go to Roost first because of the strong history between the Glow and human, and she just carries on talking about this stuff. She knows the way through the woods. You go kind of the same route that you took to take Kevin back. You are also going to cross over the mountain range called Malor's Rest, and as you get into the mountain, she sort of finds the path that you were unable to find. If you remember, you got a little bit lost wandering around in the mountains. She finds a path and you join it, and you realize that there is a nice easy path to wind through these peaks and get to the other side. And she's sort of saying, yes, of course, called Malor's Rest because it's believed that one of the final giants, one of the final giants, Malor, lay down here to sleep and then just stayed there. So yes, it's potentially possible that we are riding over the sleeping form of a giant. Isn't that fun?
I quickly go over to Scriv and like, remember we had this conversation about anxiety, and just look back at everyone else if they're going, oh my god.
Dahi is playing an alarm sound on his phone, like, like the wake up alarm, is just like holding it up like, hey giant.
It's just rebounding off of all of the peaks, and it's just like, well, I mean, it's just a story, and I mean,
Can you
I'm
use
sure it'll be
air
fine.
to amplify the sound?
Okay, hang on. Let's do boom.
Oh, no.
And it just rattles off of all of the peaks, and you start to see like little rocks.
No.
And Scrib's like, I think we should move on quite quickly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Shield.
yeah, you start to ride ahead as you see the landslide beginning to come down after you.
Briar, help!
Yeah. Okay. So the way this is going to work is it's a belief barrier to get away from the landslide. You can choose a leader for the group. It seems like Morgan had an idea and was on it already. Unless you want to choose a different leader, it's up to the group.
So I'm go on.
I want to know what you wanted to do.
I was going, oh no, shield, and I was going to do the shield effect before, but I'm happy for that to be a part of something else. I appreciate, obviously, Ellie hasn't done a leading one yet, so if Nox, you want to take it. Well, no, again, this is just me offering.
I can try.
Okay,
but mine just might make lava.
Well, please don't do that. But
it's up to you. Decide who the leader is, and the leader is the person who takes the main action and rolls. Other people can do supporting actions.
Yeah.
Oh, if you make lava, then the air and water people could cool it, and it would like form new land.
Yeah, so we could maybe.
And then we can have, and then Briar can move.
You don't have to think of something for me to do.
Yeah, no. It's, the way it works, you pick a leader, the leader says what they're going to do, and then everybody else decides how they're going to help with that. That's the point of having a leader. So, if Ellie is leading, what is she doing?
She's just... Okay, so how big are the rocks?
I mean, the ones at the front are just little bitty, but it gets bigger and bigger, and you're starting to see some larger, like what you would describe as a boulder beginning to roll down.
I'm going to make them all explode into smaller rocks, because at least if it's a bunch of smaller rocks, then
okay,
it won't crush us. It'll just hurt.
Okay, all right. So you're going to use fire to explode these rocks outwards, all right? Who is
I'm going to try to get them to explode away from us.
Mm-hmm, sure. Okay. They haven't reached you yet. You're running quite quick on your ponies and kind of shaping backwards towards these rocks. Okay, so that is what Ellie is doing. Who is helping and how?
Yeah, but the shield as well. Basically, all that my shielding is just doing, so if there's any, it's breaking into smaller rocks, if they're still coming this way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'll do.
All right. So you're protecting against any bits that come off of these explosions. Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
I think Briar's thinking about like how erosion works like in the real world, because like she gardens and stuff, so she knows a little bit about that, and so is going to try to encourage like the plant growth and roots and things to like grow up and like shore up the land more.
Catch it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right. Great. How about Bobby and Dahi?
I think Bobby is going to try and send cascades of water away from us to try and catch the smaller rocks and sort of wash them away.
Wash them upwards. Okay. And Dahi?
I think Dahi's trying to just push the wind at everyone's back so that they run faster away from it.
Okay, right. So you're moving away faster. Great. Okay, so
that's really smart.
That's great. So
look, I got us into this mess. I should probably try and help get us out.
All right. So, Ellie, are you using any infused items for this check?
I'm just gonna put my headphones were on the whole time, which is why I suggested the boom thing, because it wouldn't affect me anyways. And
so you don't flinch from them. Yeah, sure. Yeah. That works. Okay, so you're going to add a +1 for them. You get to add a +1 for each person helping, so that's a +4. So it's a +5 to your roll. And a +1 if you can shape, which you did. So that's a +6 to your roll.
Nice.
What am I rolling?
3d6.
I like the idea that you've got some sort of really cool like song as you're doing this.
Copyright. Okay.
Riding away on your ponies, like fleeing from the landslide that you created.
We did this to ourselves. We absolutely fully did this. That's a 13 + 6.
13 + 6. That is an unshakable success. You all collect one belief, and it works perfectly, exactly as you planned. The ponies were going fast, but Dahi puts on a belt of speed that even the horses you can feel a bit like, whoa, I didn't know I could do this. You are racing down this mountain path with Scriv and Cecily leading the way, so the pack knows which way to go. Ellie turns and puts on her headphones and just shapes, and the rocks explode. Morgan, just in time, catches some of the shrapnel with air. The water wave crashes against the rocks as they come, washing them up, where the roots of the various trees and shrubs can grasp and hold the land and prevent more slide. And you get away. The land settles back, and the landslide has stopped and is no more. And you round a corner, take a breath. And Scrib's like, I would advise not making a lot of noise in the mountains. We didn't wake a giant, but that was not ideal.
Are we not sure that was the giant waking up?
I hope not.
Okay,
She sort of looks
my
and says,
bad.
well, I mean, at least we landed somewhere with a good view. And you have, at this point, passed through the mountains. You were on the slope down from the mountains when this happened. And you have run so far that you are now in the foothills and can see a view has opened up over a wide circular valley, a sort of natural green bowl made, surrounded by gentle hills. In the heart of this valley, you can see a city, not a huge metropolis, but a city rather than a village. And it's made up of these tall spires in the center, and you can just make out these row of circling windmills around the edge. Coming up from the center of the city, you see what looks like a shaft of sunlight that seems to begin on the ground and not make it all the way up, but past the height of the tallest spires. You see tiny, tiny figures flitting around this shaft of sunlight. And Scriv points and says, that is the light lift. It's going to make the Overisles very accessible when it's finished. I'm sure the Glow will be very happy to reconnect with their cousins up there. But yes, that's all that there is Roost. We'll be there within a few hours. If we can avoid any further mishaps. If we're all ready to carry on, let's head off. And you head downwards. You traverse a switchback kind of path down out of the last of the hills and begin moving through rolling green countryside. As you're walking, it begins to rain a little bit, just sort of pit, 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 sort of just a light drizzle. It's actually quite cooling and refreshing after all that stress. But as you're walking along, you see at the side of the road a bird-like creature with red, yellow, and gold plumage sitting looking dejected on a log. And as you approach, he looks up and gets up. You see that he has, instead of a nose, a kind of beak, has a mouth and large sort of glowing yellow eyes. This is a glow with an elemental alignment to fire. And the glow stands up and says, oh, thank heavens, Pendragons, could you help? My butterflies are missing.
Where'd you last see them?
Oh, it was just ghastly. I was flying and I was heading to, your welcome party. This is somewhat of a spoiler. I am Apollonius of Apollonius's Baffling Butterflies, and we were due to perform at your party this evening. But we were flying along in formation, getting a bit of practice in, and then this dark shape descended upon us, this huge black worm with a rider, a pendragon it looked like, in black armor, flew right towards us, scattered my butterflies, and then the rider lifted a sword towards me, and of course I flew down and hid in this stand of trees. But now I can't find my butterflies, and it started to rain, and I just don't know if they'll be okay.
How big are the butterflies?
That's not the important thing.
Oh, like that big.
Usually they're like
Tangerine Empress.
No, actually, that was important context.
Yeah, how are we gonna find them if they're itty bitty?
Oh, they're They're like
Do they
they're
have-
large.
Do they have names they respond to?
No,
They don't have names?
You
Okay.
can't go like. Pss, 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 pss.
they have names that I use for them, but they don't respond.
They
to
don't
them.
respond.
I also
like cats.
They have butterflies, not dogs.
I'm so sorry about your butterfly shenanigans, but this rider? You said another Pendragon was riding this.
Yes, it looked like a Pendragon. Looked like, well, maybe a bit bigger than you, but it certainly looks like Pendragons, but not one that I know personally.
What did they look like? Did they have armor? Did they like? What were their features like?
The pale skin, but they were wearing mostly covered in armor. So it was this black plate armor with various shifting plates. I don't know. I'm not an armorer. I'm a butterfly trainer.
Hey, gang. Do you think that Mordred was buried in his armor and then this guy with the dragon stole it because he's the Black Knight?
See,
Yeah.
that's a lot smarter than what I was thinking. I thought Morgan accidentally brought Mordred back to life.
No.
You switched the femurs!
I thought you switching the bones might have activated something.
No, that's not
Not
how
like intentionally.
That's not how life is created, Ellie.
I'm sorry. Are
then
you used to magic?
In my head,
I'm sorry.
In my head, I'm like, maybe I did, and I go, no, that's silly.
In my world, I can't do this, and a flame comes out.
This
is not
Polonius
normal.
looks at Scrib at this point. He's like, "Are they new?" It's just like, yes, yeah, quite new. Not quite settled yet. But so tell us more about these butterflies. And Apollonius is like, well, they are excellent dancers. And they like the usual things that butterflies like, music and flowers.
Are butterflies like bees where they respond to like synchronized dance?
I mean,
Hey, butterflies, come with us.
I trained them to dance because that's what we do. We are formation dancing together, myself and the butterflies.
That's so cool.
Right.
Well, it would be great, and that is the plan for the party, to entertain you all with our incredible baffling display of Apollonius's baffling butterflies. But it's not much of a show if the butterflies aren't there.
Mm-hmm. Where did this happen? Is like, can you point to it? Maybe we can go and get them back for you so that you can still perform.
Well, I think they'll all be hiding in the same stand of trees where I was, but I can't get them to come down. And he points, and there's like, in the middle of a field, just a little copse of
Just
trees
a single
standing
tree.
there. Not a single tree. Like, not quite a wood, but, approaching that, like a gathering of trees. And he's like, I flew down into there and hid because I was terrified for my life. And I think they did the same.
Where did you see where this knight, this Pendragon, went on the like, just in case, we want to make sure they're not still around?
Well, I heard him laughing at me as he swung for me, and then I ducked down, but I think he was heading in the same direction. He came up behind me, and he seemed to be heading for Roost. Why does she have her hand up?
It's polite. It's polite.
I think you can speak freely to Apollonius.
I just was wondering when you saw the Black Knight and the worm, was there like some like whispering that you heard?
Yes, good question.
Whispering.
Kind of like,
or maybe a sense of sadness or feeling down.
Oh, I felt very sad, and I still do.
Okay, no, fine.
But yes, I think I did hear some whispering, and I think the sky darkened when they came past, and it wasn't just the rain.
Okay.
It seemed like they were sort of...
Is it currently raining?
In a cloud. It is like spitting and raining a bit. It's like, my butterflies don't like the rain. You see, their wings are made of fire.
Totally normal.
You could have lived with that.
Do you have somewhere like a net or some sort of case that we can put them in?
Oh, I would never use a net on my butterflies. They're
Okay,
my
sorry.
friends.
Oh,
Do you
no,
have something that keeps them safe when it
safe.
rains?
Yes.
Oh, yes. And he points, and there's kind of like a bit of a like a litter, but without the poles, like almost like a little house that has like portals in it that butterflies could move in and out of. Like they're like this big because the butterflies are quite big. But he's like, I carry that, and they go inside sometimes. But when we were hit, we were all just flying, just for the free and fun of it. But that's where they sleep.
Okay. If it's okay, Apollodius, if we take that, maybe we can go and only if you want us to help. I appreciate you've just had a really negative
Of course I
experience
want
with.
your help.
Okay.
I would be honored to have help from the Pendragons and to meet you all first out of everybody. That's so exciting.
Great. We
And
would even
like, don't tell them you're excited. Makes them nervous.
I mean, I'm sure we'd be very happy to, like, I don't know, endorse your show, maybe put it on the flyers, like endorsed by recent crop of Pendragons or something like that.
Honestly, just performing for you at your welcome party is such an honor and so exciting that I would tell that story forever. But I could only do that if we find my butterflies.
Yeah.
Let's just go get them.
Yeah, we're gonna go get your butterflies.
Sorry.
Briar, how are you doing?
Did you say Briar?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. I think Briar just like kind of like goes to Apollodius like as everyone is leaving and just says, "You're allowed to be excited. I wasn't the one who said people couldn't be excited, but I think it is for my benefit."
Oh, wonderful! Because I am excited. And
it's very nice to meet you.
It's wonderful to see new Pendragons, and reaches out his little feathered hand and shakes yours. Like, best of luck. I'm sure you'll be able to find my butterflies.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to find them just fine.
Thank you.
Cut to that corpse of trees burning.
The butterflies are fire elemental. Their wings are fire.
Yeah, I know. It's just like everything's just on
fine.
fire.
They might actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Bobby's gonna sort of huddle up with the group when we've got further away from Apollonius and sort of say, I think there's another bit of evidence for this is like a new baby Mordred cosplayer theory, which is that Morgan and I translated the word worm friend from the writing that we found. So maybe this guy was like, or this person was like, oh, to be like Mordred, I need a worm too.
I mean, wasn't Mordred sometimes King Arthur's child? So aren't we technically descended from him
don't
too?
think about it. Don't think about it too hard.
I also don't think it was Guinevere's kid.
Let's go catch some fire butterflies, okay, gang?
Yeah.
But also, are you saying that this is like Kylo Ren badly interpreting Darth Vader?
Yeah, that actually, there's a lot of parallels. Wow.
Okay.
I guess we can cross off the theory that it's a person who's half dragon or can change into dragons, because that was one of the things that we were talking about.
Dragon theory.
Yeah.
Unless they're like a dragon centaur.
How does a dragon centaur wear jeans? Like this or like this?
I am walking towards the trees of the little house.
Okay. There is a stand of trees. They are, tall. It's not a full wood, but even so, with the trees being close enough together, as you step into them, you could almost feel as if you're in a massive forest. The sound is muffled, the blowing of the wind. You can still feel droplets of the rain. They're now starting to get slightly heavier, coming down through the trees. Actually heavier because they're gathering on the branches and then dripping off onto your head. That horrible, like, cold splash of a droplet landing on you or down the back of your neck as you come into the forest. So, what are you trying?
Okay, the butterflies. What do we know? They're made of fire. They don't want to be doused by water, so they're probably looking for shelter, right?
And presumably the light of them will would admit. So maybe we can at least look and see if there's any lighter parts. Presumably it's quite a dense forest. So
Oh no, what if this is like Charsmander?
And their light goes off and they die. No.
Did we bring the little house with us?
I brought, I would have taken it. Yeah. I'm not asking about it and then leaving it.
Yeah,
That's cute.
When if we see any of them, I can shape water and sort of hold the rain back. See if I
very
can like
cool.
stop the rain rather than let it
Ooh.
fall.
Love that.
Okay,
That's
all
cool.
right. So, who is your leader for this first attempt at finding these butterflies?
We're just finding them first, right?
Mhm.
Like we
So you're
haven't
just
actually.
searching around for them, but it's whether you want to use a strategy or whether you just want to search thoroughly and spend time.
I mean, I like Bobby's idea. Maybe if you just, because obviously we're getting hit by water. If you're able to do that barrier, then maybe they're more likely to come out. So I think that's a great shout if you want to lead on that, Bobby.
Yeah, I can give that a try.
Okay, so Bobby is the leader. Bobby, you're going to try and stop the rain in a small perimeter around this house and see if that brings some of them out. Is anybody else helping with this? And are you using any infused items? What is Ellie doing?
Ellie is. I can only do one thing at a time. Dang it. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna take my knife and start. Sorry, I just saw somebody's reaction. I'm gonna take my knife and start scraping at the ground to try to get like a little makeshift shelter of earth. Like so
Okay.
that way, like they could just rush over here if they don't see the house.
All right. Okay. So, describe that more
I'm
for
like
me. I
digging
can't
with a
quite
knife.
picture it. Just digging, creating a hole with a knife for them to go into.
I'm like digging with a knife, like cutting like plants to make like a little like that way, like or no, that's a better idea actually. Scratch that. I'm gonna just start cutting some trees and going like this with my
Maybe
knife.
maybe
so
making
that
like
way-
a covered walkway, perhaps.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
like,
you're
here,
trying
come
to
on.
use branches and things to create a covered tunnel that they could travel through to get to. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I'm using my knife to cut it so that
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
fuse
Sure.
item.
Anybody else helping with this?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to where the little house is. Is someone carrying that, or are we setting it on the ground? Do we have
I assume setting it on the ground if we've got the covered walkway happening, because otherwise, I assume so. I would put it on the ground.
I'm gonna get down on the ground and try to make some specific plants grow. I'm gonna try to make lantana grow on the ground because it's a flower. It's a flower that butterflies love, but it also the red and orange like kind of looks like fire. And so I'm kind of gonna get down and try to make like those specific flowers grow
So
around the house to maybe draw
make it look
them.
even more appealing to them.
Mhm.
Amazing.
I
What
can
about
jump
Doggy?
on that. You know, in cartoons where like there's an apple pie on a windowsill and then the smell has its own little
Yeah!
layer
Literally
of
thinking
air.
the same
Oh.
thing.
I'm doing. I was gonna do that with the flowers so that the
Yeah.
smell carries around.
I love that.
I double that as well. Yep.
Okay, double that effect. You can do it in one direction and Doggy can do it in the other so that you're
Exactly.
covering a radius.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Bobby, please roll with a +4 because all of your friends are helping. +1 of you use a shape. +1 of you are going to use an infused item at all. I don't know if you planned on using one. Oh, no, you didn't get any because you just kept your belief. Yes, you didn't infuse anything. Okay,
Do
cool.
you get one if does
Well,
Bobby get one?
She gets a +1 because you're helping with the item.
Got it.
Cool. So that's 8 on the dice.
+4 would be a 12, and then +1 of you are shaping, which is a 13, which is a success. So yeah, you succeed. It's Bobby concentrates and stops the rain, and you realize the slight hiss that you've been hearing of droplets landing on leaves goes away. The covered walkway that Ellie has created is standing there as Briar summons these beautiful flowers up and around, on the walkway, underneath it, around the house. There's suddenly a garden here, and the two air shapers just waft the beautiful smell of this nectar into the air. And slowly you see lights start to come on in the trees as 1, 2, 5, 7 of these flaming butterflies come down out of the trees and sort of circle around a bit, trying to figure out what's going on, and then come down into the corridor that Ellie created and into their house. And the windows of the house glow with these creatures inside. And you have captured Apollonius's baffling butterflies.
Woohoo!
Amazing. Everybody take 1 belief for that, because why not? You succeeded.
Nice.
All right. And I think with that, we're going to go to break.
Woo.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody. Remember to subscribe, go hydrate, go take a rest. We'll be doing that and be back in 15 minutes.
Bye.
Hello, welcome back. We're playing some Inspirisles, and we are, just continuing on our journey to the city of Roost to meet with the Glow. We just rescued some butterflies, or flaming butterflies, for a glow that we found on the road called Apollonius. And we're continuing on with our journey. So you rescue the butterflies. They are all in this butterfly house that you had taken from their friend, owner, and you take it back to him. And Apollonius is like, oh goodness, I should have known the Pendragons would come through. I just so impressed. I just never thought. Well, I don't know what I thought, but I was terrified. And just, you got them out of the rain and everything. Oh, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and I hope like this has not soured your experience with other Pendragons.
No, to be honest, I was quite confused because I'd always heard good things about Pendragons, and I just could frankly not believe that I was being attacked by one, and with cold iron, no less. So I just.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what did their sword look like? Like, was it a cool sword, or was it just a sword?
It was
Did it look like it?
A very dark metal with a mottled and notched edge, but it has wreathed in a black smoke of disbelief.
So
not a cool sword.
No, it sounds so cool though. Like that's a sword that has a name, you know?
I mean, probably, but
your sword has a name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, what if it was another piece of?
I think it sounds more like Nega Excalibur. So let's. Well, thank you. I hope. Well, we'll see you at the party. I say.
Oh, absolutely, and I will tell everybody that I met you and that you're wonderful and that I'm so excited and they will. Yes. Maybe would you like me not to mention about the other Pendragon, or?
I think that's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not your boss. We're not gonna.
He looks at Scriv, and Scriv's like, "Oh well, no. I think it's probably best for now not to panic anyone."
Yes.
I mean, as you can see, our current batch of Pendragons are peerless and will absolutely solve this problem very soon. It's no use panicking everybody, and you can see Scriv herself is like, but I am extremely panicked.
Yeah.
So, good day to you, Apollonius. He's like, call me Polly, and just takes off to the wing, carrying his butterfly house, and off into the sky.
Do we not have free speech in the Isles?
Oh, sorry.
Like,
No,
like Ellie just looks at the.
No, Ellie.
I mean, if he had absolutely wanted to speak about it, and if he had not asked whether maybe he shouldn't talk about it, then sure.
We didn't command him not to talk about it. Script just said
he asked whether it would be helpful for him to not mention it, and I said yes, that would be helpful. I hardly think that I have censored him.
Yeah. Like we don't want to get everyone else worried. If something like this is heading towards Roost, then well, obviously we should warn people, but also we don't want to cause a panic in case it doesn't happen. I think that's what we mean by that, Ellie. We don't wish to.
I'm pretty sure it happened.
Well, let's find out.
we did just find.
No, go to Roost. Maybe we can see if anyone else has seen a black knight on a worm that's attacked anything or something like that.
But how are we going to find out if people don't?
We can ask.
Nobody else agrees with me on this, so I'm just going to shut up. Like,
I think the sword should be called Rubelax because that's Excalibur backwards. That's what I'm.
That took you. That's what you're focusing your energy on.
Yeah. Sorry, were we talking about something?
Well, Ellie, I think it's a valuable point, and I take your point, and you know, I think if he were to go ahead and tell people, then I wouldn't think none the worse of him, certainly. I think it's a difficult one. I think it's difficult to know whether it's better to warn everybody and have everybody flee out of Roost, possibly for no reason, or better to not tell anybody, and I don't know. We simply don't know what will happen. We don't know. I mean, reports that this is a Pendragon is very concerning. I think we need to know more. Shall we onwards?
I've got to see these butterflies down, so yeah, let's go.
Cool. All right, so back on the ponies, heading towards Roost. And it's not far till you get there. This little interaction was kind of near to the like villages and farmlands that surround Roost, where the Glow grow their various crops. There are meadows of fruits and vegetables, and you know, all kinds of arable living. You soon reach the outskirts of Roost, though, and as I mentioned, on the outskirts, you are surrounded by these windmills that gently turn up the breeze to a nice warm sweet breeze that tussles your hair as you pass through them, as they line this main route into the city. Within the city, the tall spires that you saw from a distance are so much bigger up close, between 200 and 300 feet. There are smaller buildings, but everywhere all around they are shaped to be long and thin and reaching up to the sky, with these spiraling sets of what you think are stairs at first sticking out of the side of the buildings, but as you draw closer you see that they are large and too far apart to be stairs, and each one of them emerges from an entrance point. And actually, as you see Glow all around, both walking on the ground but also in the sky, flying between these different spires, you see them land on these perches and enter through. So these are wooden spars for Glow to land on as they move by air around their city. You head towards the Soaring Archive, where Scriv says it's best to learn about everything that you've seen. Passing through the city, you see various market stalls, children playing, young Glow, super cute, breaking the rule of baby birds everywhere. They are cute from when they are born. They are running around. They see you. Some of them start following you in a little gaggle of children, like, Pendragons, Pendragons! And they're so excited to see you all and sort of run to tell their friends that they've seen you. And you reach the Soaring Archive, and it is a building that is like a giant tree made of wood and stone. You see that it is, hundreds of feet tall, and after about 100 feet branches out into major branches that turn themselves into branches. And Scriv says, you see, each of the branches is a different subject area in the library. You'll see when you get in, and you enter through a huge central doorway in the trunk of this building tree, which is open, people coming in and out, wandering through. You come into a huge central hall, and you can see all the way up through the trunk. Walkways, ladders, shelves and shelves and shelves of books, and kind of holes where you gather that you could, if you could fly through into the branches of the tree. The entire thing is a hollow building structure lined with books. There is a central desk at the heart of the trunk where you see two glow waiting for you, both air-aligned glow with the standard sort of what you've gathered are the standard brown and white and cream feathers, beak for a nose, and sort of blue and gold robes, sort of standing, waiting and looking eager to meet you. Scriv comes forward and says, here they are. Yes, wonderful. Bryson Balbo, head librarian, and sorry, I've not met you before, I don't think. In the next glow along sort of goes, I'm Myra Rhea, chief scholar of human connection, with a particular focus on the Arthurian period, and you must be the Pendragons. I'm so excited. And Scriv's like, yes, I present to you. We have Ellie and Morgan and Dahi and Bobby and Briar, all here. They have some fascinating things to tell you. Scriv looks at you all and says, I think you'll be okay with the librarians. I have some people to check in with, some stuff to do about the party. So if you would go with them, is that all okay? I'll come back to get you when it's party time. Yes? Wonderful. Well, have the best time. And just come along, Cecily. And Cecily sort of waves, and they carry on off out. And
the second that they're out of the room, Dahi goes, you want to see something really cool? Since you're a fan of the Arthurian
both Myra and
period.
Bryson sort of lean forward and go, absolutely, yes. What is it?
I've got Excalibur.
Oh my word.
We look at each other and then look at you and then look at all the rest of you and just, can it be true?
Apparently.
Not the whole thing.
Dahi takes off his sheath and like takes off the belt and gives it to them, because he's not unsheathing the sword himself. Which is what he promised.
And they kind of look at the belt for a second and then realize that it's hanging off of it and sort of look at it and say, and Myra says, may I touch?
Yeah, I just can't because I promised not to.
He promised that he wouldn't take it out.
Oh,
apparently I'm a danger.
He promised that he wouldn't take it out.
He was swinging it around a lot.
He can't take it out. Everyone else can.
Oh, okay. Yes, I understand.
Fae rules, baby.
Yes. She takes it out of the scabbard and looks at it. Oh, yes. Well, a fragment, but quite a fragment. The size. It's exactly as it appears in the illustrations. You see this red stone in the pommel? Yes, absolutely. It's so clearly Excalibur. How did you find this?
I hand over my journal.
Look through it. She sort of takes you and sort of says, oh, come with me, and takes you off through the library, up several walkways, up several stairs. And as she's walking, she's like, so Mordred, oh dear, well, I can't believe it's taken us this long to find it. But, well, that would mean. And then, but surely not. And she just carries on like that, up and through the stairs. You are up several layers until you are like way off the ground, and you could see the desk below for like tens of feet, then 100 feet down, reaching up to get to the right branch or area of this library where the section on human connection with the specialism in the Arthurian period is. And she lays down the sword and sort of pulls out various books and scrolls and manuscripts and lays them down and sort of looks at them and is like, well, where to start? Do you have specific questions that you would like answered?
My first question is, why don't you have an elevator?
The
well, I
birds.
mean, we could fly.
Yeah. Why would
That's
you
fair.
ever want an elevator when you could fly?
Because I can't fly, Dahi.
It's yes, of course, terribly sorry. I will say, for the sake of the story, that you were helped up by a glow who could help you up the worst bits of the steps. Yes, really, we should fit one. I'll speak to the Piskies. The Piskies could surely figure out, if anyone could figure out an elevator that goes to all these different branches, I'm sure it would be a Pisky. And actually, we have one staying with us, a researcher named Ether Thistledust. She's very brilliant.
Do any of these books just have pictures?
We do have a children's section and an art section.
I
don't know
was
which you were going
talking
for.
about. I was talking about an illustration of Mordred for his armor because we think we might have a clue
Oh,
about it.
Absolutely. Oh, just one second.
But you
She
know, I
flips
could
through.
just go down to the children's section if you want me to.
I
Dahi doesn't have a lead on anything.
I then fill in. Yeah, I fill in about what happened with the butterflies and stuff because that's not in the journal yet. So.
Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry. I just thought you meant that you just wanted to look at some pictures. I didn't realize that you were looking for a specific picture. But she flips very rapidly through a volume and opens it up to a page, and you see an illustration of a man resting on a sword, wearing full black armor with a very distinctive black helmet with wings coming out of the side and a kind of dragon's head over the top. She says, "This is the best imagery that we have. It's not. It wasn't taken from his likeness, but it is what the armor was rumored to look like. You see, this is a picture of him at the battle where he slew his uncle Arthur."
Bobby, can you take a picture of this?
It's
Also,
the-
it seems cool as hell and right up your alley.
I mean, yeah, I know that this guy is evil, but like the aesthetic is on point.
It goes so hard. It
I
goes
was gonna
so
ask,
hard.
do you think the glow might want a picture with the sword because this was like a once in a lifetime thing? It might make them happy.
Oh, are you a portrait artist?
In a way, yeah, I can take pictures with this device that captures images instantaneously.
Some
Oh.
say it captures the souls of the
No,
people.
no.
No.
Hand over Dahi's
Very
mouth.
few say that.
Gently, obviously.
Very few say that, and it has never been proven.
But
Well,
yeah,
I mean, if it's safe.
Yes, there is a flashing light, so if it's gonna harm if bright light's gonna harm the illustration, I don't want to make it wear out
Well,
or anything.
I mean, we could bring the illustration over to a window, and there is a window in like the end of this sort of corridor of books, and if that would be enough light. Does it?
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
She arranges things. She also gets you to take a picture of her sort of holding this. At first, she's just holding it awkwardly, like not really sure what to do. And then when she figures out it's like a proper posing session, gets you all in, like, well,
let's do a silly one.
Oh,
say cheese.
Say Pendragon!
Bird person silliness. Ah! Okay. Okay. Well, do show me how they turn out. So yes.
I do. If you don't mind, I do have a question. If, like, obviously from what we've seen, and obviously this attack with the butterflies and stuff, if you were to guess, if I'm very quiet at this point, A, because it's a library, and B, not getting, not scaring people. It's like if the Mordred has returned, what do you think he would want?
Mordred was Arthur and Guinevere's mortal enemy. When war broke out on both sides of the Allswell, Arthur went to war, and we went to war against. Well, Arthur went to war against Mordred, and we went to war against the Worms. And the Worms and Mordred were soon allied with each other, much as the Fae and Arthur and Guinevere were allied with each other. And Mordred, well, he earned the title Worm Friend. Things are much repaired with the Worms now. There was a treaty, the Worms teach us shaping, relations are great. We even have the shaping school run by a Worm, Dawn Shadow Dancer here. That's where your party will be, actually. So relations are good with the Worms in general, but there are Worms who still exist on the fringes in the Underisles and other places that wish a return to the old ways where they would hoard the belief for themselves.
Do you think, obviously, with new Pendragons coming, that we might have awoken something, or was like it obviously we'll have to sort this out somehow. It just feels like a coincidence that we just so happen to be here and see a worm and somebody portraying what we think is Mordred.
Well, if there is somebody who is acting as Mordred would act, or as close as they can manage, they would likely consider you their enemy. So perhaps your arrival has drawn them out. But if they're already riding a worm, it would take time to build such a relationship, I would think. Yes, Ellie, you really don't have to put your hand up.
It's just easier that way. But okay, I'm not saying this to get someone in trouble or to tattle on them.
Oh my goodness.
If somebody potentially found a skeleton and moved their bones around like they were a jigsaw puzzle, then
Morgan.
I didn't say that. Then could they have, I don't know, maybe resurrected that skeleton who we think was probably Mordred, hypothetically, not naming names?
Could you resurrect somebody just by touching their skeleton?
Well, if there was like a magical person who touched another magical person.
I mean, I don't. I think a very serious ritual would have to be involved to bring somebody back to life with magic. Do you feel like you were part of a very
Yes, it was so
ritual?
serious.
No.
It was so serious. It was bone touching.
And if we may have technically robbed their grave?
Oh, well,
well, that's where we found Excalibur, hypothetically.
Well, it sounds like, from what you were saying, the grave may already have been robbed. If those bones were Mordred's bones, and somebody is running around wearing Mordred's armor,
exactly,
one would expect that Mordred would be, I mean, especially if it is this same armor, he went to such lengths to have it specially crafted for the vibes.
It would be super awkward if this Mordred copycat person couldn't fit in the armor because it was custom made.
But
do you think they're clanking around in there? It's chafing.
One can only hope.
But it's right, because it sounds like it's such a cool armor that they would be buried with it. I mean, I wouldn't go anywhere without my journal, so it sounds like somebody then did break in, took the armor, and then just happened to misplace the the femurs back, and I'm looking at Ellie at this point, trying to be like, this is a reasonable explanation.
Yes, that sounds reasonable to me. Yes,
It
Ellie?
does.
Okay, do we know if Mordred had any kids? Because if there's descendants of Guinevere, maybe there's descendants of Mordred.
Yes.
Is that a reasonable explanation, Morgan?
Sorry, were you going to say your own name, Ellie?
Do you two have unresolved tension of some kind?
No, it's absolutely fine.
Do you guys want to go to the art section and paint your feelings out?
I want to go to the art section with Dahi. Dahi, will you
Yeah.
come with me to the art section?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Let's go to the art
Bryson.
section.
Bryson will be able to tell you, and Bryson's still there, just sort of like, oh yes, absolutely, we've got a fantastic art section. Do come. We've even got some works by previous Pendragons, and takes you along.
That'll
and
be
starts telling
lovely.
you all
Thank
about-
you.
Yeah. So
I'm
you go
gonna
there.
fingerprint.
Oh, okay. We're not normally
Just-
into practical application, just archiving, but still, you know, I would be happy to add your work to the archive immediately once you've painted it. Back in the study room, it's all very fascinating. I just don't know.
I mean, obviously we don't really, we are new here, but was there any tales of Pendragons that lost their way and haven't been seen or heard of? Obviously, we know that after a time they do go back, but yeah.
No, most that I know of either stay and travel the lands or go back. And those that stay largely join the Silver Apples, a guard company that operate in Avalon, where I believe you will go next on your tour if you stay with Scriv.
Yeah.
So, I mean, perhaps you could ask them if they know of anybody. But yes, yes. I suppose I don't know. I think if Mordred had been raised, then we would be seeing much worse wounds to the World Tree, even than we are currently seeing. That would be a very, very dark thing to happen. The tale of Mordred is quite sad, really. Merlin prophesied before his birth that he would be the one to slay his uncle. He was born hated and despised, and thought he had no choice by every contemporary record that we had but to embrace his destiny and become what he became. Anyway, this is all incredibly fascinating. Would you mind if we took?
No.
Is there a way of taking copies of these details? They are.
Oh my
invaluable.
journal. Okay, sorry, I thought you were going to take Excalibur.
No. Oh no. No, that is
Darn.
safest with the Pendragons. That is
What?
absolutely safest
Are
with
you?
you.
Okay. Yes, please feel free. I would like my journal back, obviously, but yes, and I'm sure, Bobby, if you're happy to get your pictures copied again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be wonderful. Anything that we can. I mean, this is my area of research. You've just handed me these golden gems of information that I will be working on for years. If there's anything else I can do to help you.
First of all, maybe don't read the first couple of pages; those are private. But second of all, well, are there, obviously we found parts of Excalibur. Is there any other books or maps or anything like that could tell us where other parts of it were, or where we might be able to find them?
I would have to do some research. It's
sure.
The idea that Excalibur was even on this side of the portal is a fascinating discovery. Of course, we know that Excalibur was shattered by Mordred himself at the final battle between himself and Arthur. So if he came through the portal after that, then he may have brought the shards with him, and that may have been why he was buried with one of them. But I suppose that gives us a fascinating area of study of where in the Isles Mordred was known to have gone.
Because I guess maybe Fiona putting things together, maybe if we've got one part of the sword, maybe Mordred's trying to find the other piece, or whoever it is trying to find the other pieces.
Well, if they knew about Excalibur, would they not have found it?
It was
Perhaps.
Was it well hidden?
It was inside a rock.
The altar. I point to the book. The altar.
Oh, well, I feel like if the person had time, they would have found that if they knew about it. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it depends. It depends if this is a Pendragon. It depends if they are well informed about Arthurian legend, which I'm sure Scriv has been telling you bits and pieces. But if Scriv doesn't recognize who this person could be, then I don't know who would.
I have no other questions, Bobby.
Yeah. Maybe we can trace them by the worm that they were riding. Is there? Was it? Did Apollonius say it was a black worm? Are there records of worms who maybe would be on the side of disbelief rather than of belief?
We have a glossary, an index. We have an index. It's not here. She starts flapping rapidly. It's like, I will be right back, and flies off for a couple of minutes, leaving you alone. And then comes back with a big book, slams it down on the table, and pulls it open and says, okay, so we need to cross-reference by colour and size. There's all different sizes and shapes of worm. And of course, you know, the headmistress of the School of Shaping herself is black. She's with an incredible, like, iridescent purple tint. But it couldn't have been her. I mean, she's not as large as worms get either. So, so there she is, Dawn. Oh, well, there's a couple of others. Let's hope it's not. She lays it open on a page that says Scaldrin. SCALDRYN.
Press X to doubt.
Why do you hope it's not them?
Well, they were very powerful in the war with the worms, and absolutely would not come to the table when negotiations were opened up. They were one of the least repentant about the darkness that had been caused. Presumed to be many of the worms after the treaty, instead of doing as Guinevere asked and travelling the lands teaching shaping and becoming allies and friends, decided to go into the Underisles and find secret caverns and sleep. It was assumed that Scaldrin had been asleep for the last 1,000 years.
Why do all the evil ones take all the good aesthetics and names?
Bobby, did you get any pictures of at the Mordred's grave of the inside where some of those scrape marks were from the dragon? Because maybe we could compare the size to the size.
I definitely got some pictures of the footprints around the clearing where everything was burned.
Dahi definitely posed in some of them for scale, like just lying down.
Doing the lying on the side.
Yeah, for scale.
Oh, okay. Those do look quite large. And Scaldrin is one of the larger worms that we have on record.
Okay.
This isn't good. And you said it was heading this way? Yes?
Yes. But we don't have proof of what there is doing. So, I mean, remembering what Ellie said, I mean, please feel free to share it, but we would appreciate you being discreet about it.
I mean, you're about to be at a party with all of the heads of Roost. I heard one of the Inspired might even show up. So, you know, you'll have the best ears to speak about it too.
Great. Well, we can at least spread it out, information out there. Then maybe that'll be useful. Thank you. Thank you for answering all of our questions. We appreciate.
Thank you for bringing me this gold mine of information. Do you know you are really following the footsteps of your ancestor? So wonderful to meet the what's the reverse of an ancestor?
Descendant.
The descendant of Lynette the Relentless. Yes, it's quite
relentless.
Yes.
My head
Do you
whips
not
over to Morgan so fast.
have you not heard about Lynette?
I'll be honest. I've only heard bits and pieces. I didn't really have a name to go off.
Oh yes, well, Lynette the Relentless. She helped negotiate the Overisles Accord, which was vital for mending things with us and our cousins in the Overisles. But yes, she sadly was only with us until she was 16.
Oh gosh,
She went home. She didn't die.
No, it's more like, oh my gosh, she completed so much before she was. I'm nearly 16. I've not done anything.
Yes, she completed it, but then afterwards she was never quite well, and had to go home and recuperate. She pushed herself very hard.
Sure. Thank you. Oh, I mean, I would love to talk about it some other time, but I'm very aware of other people's like staring. I was like,
Well, yes, I mean, absolutely.
mean,
It's been wonderful meeting you.
you.
Yes, come back anytime. I wonder what your friends are up to. We cut over to the art room. What are their friends up to? Right, Bryson's just there, like, well, so you wanted paint, so here, and there's a table here that you can paint with if you want.
Ellie's just angrily painting.
Oh my.
Dahi heard that they were putting this in the archives and immediately started painting a photo of a glimmer.
Oh.
Because
Right.
he's trying to gauge how petty the rivalry between these guys is. Because he knows that Glow and Glimmer, there's something going on there. Because this seems like a really cool place. Why would the Glimmer want to leave if there wasn't something like off about it?
Okay, so you begin painting.
His way of finding this out. He's not gonna do any research. He's just gonna finger paint a glimmer and see their reaction to it. That's his solution.
Well,
to this
my
problem.
question is, do you start? So let's say you start with the bits that are similar to the glow, and Bryson's there, like, oh yes, you're painting. Is that me? Is that my like? Oh no, it's not quite.
Oh.
The coloring's not quite right. Oh, and the wings. Oh, it's I see. A glimmer. Yes.
Yeah, I saw it in a dream once. They're pretty cool, right?
I believe that means that they would be your friend, Faye. Yes. Yes. That's interesting.
I mean, Glimmer and Glow are pretty similar, right?
Yes, we share a common ancestry. It's complicated.
Complicated. Well, we gotta pull up a canvas, buddy.
Well, okay. The glow.
Mm-hmm.
The glow have existed since we were created by the Crone of Craft. The glow existed in harmony and peace as one bird people, and then at some point we realized the existence of the human world, and we created the All's Well with the help of the Piskies, and we began having contact with humans. You know, Arthur and Guinevere came through, and we developed friendships, and things went along. But there were some of the glow who did not feel that it was a good idea to connect our world to the human world, and they left and became the Glimmer. They moved to what is now Miasma. They took to the caves near the Underisles, not actually in the Underisles, but on the verge, and lost their wings and plumage. They are allies. They are good fae. They are not. They call the All's Well the ends well. They don't think.
Yeah.
They're somewhat rebellious. They're skeptical about the purpose of Pendragons in the land, whereas other fae you will find are happy about the Pendragon system for gathering belief and healing the world tree. The Glimmer feel that we opened ourselves to risk by joining the worlds. And then, of course, there are the glow that moved to the Overisles, who were slightly less opposed to the Pendragon idea, but just felt that they wanted to live further away.
So you have a peace treaty with those guys, but not these guys?
Oh, the Glimmer, we're not at war at all. It's, it's just a little chilly.
Okay.
So what are you painting, Ellie?
Ellie was just like absentmindedly just like painting, and if you look, it's kind of like it's a picture of a person with their hands over their eyes like this. She's just like angrily adding colors.
Oh, well, that's quite moving. Are you,
Thank you.
a frequent artist?
I picked up a lot when I was a kid during recess. Lots of different crafts.
Well, I think it really conveys something. You've got a gift for self-expression.
Thank you.
So you're welcome to carry on here for as long as you like. I have work to do, but if you're comfortable, let us know if you need anything, drinks or beverages or whatever, and I will see you later.
See you soon. Thank you.
The second that we're left alone, Ellie, you're chill, right?
I'm chill. What?
Like, what? I know we're hearing one side of it, but I don't know. Are these guys cool or not? These were the uncool birds.
Hey.
Okay, do you mean are they cool as in are they good, or are they cool as in this place is cool? Because those can be different things.
I'm not separating out coolness in my mind. Cool is cool.
Okay, but there's aesthetic cool and like the cool inside. So like the person on the worm is aesthetic cool. Like their vibes immaculate, but the problem is that they're hurting people.
Also, they're probably going to crash this party because this would be the perfect opportunity if they wanted to wreck things.
So, which are you asking about the glow?
Do you think if we did hang on, do you think if we did a painting of this cool guy and we gave it to him when he attacked the party, that if the painting was like good enough that he'd just stop and be like, wow, this is actually really cool. I'll leave you alone for now.
We can try. If you want, we can try.
Look, my vibes are immaculate. Vibes are immaculate, unstoppable force.
At this point, Ellie, you become aware of like movement out of the corner of your eye, and you see like green fingers and a little goggled face like peering around the side of the book stacks and then hiding. And then peering around again.
Hello?
Oh, hello. I'm not interrupting, am I?
No, we were just talking about vibes. What's up?
Pull up a canvas, buddy.
And this person comes out, and you can see that it's a pisky. They're about 4.5 feet tall. They have green skin and hair. They're wearing overalls, and they have all kinds of tools and badges hanging off of their outfit and goggles. And they sit down and they sort of pull up a chair, and then the table's a little too high for them, and they put their hands on and say, "So I'm Aoife. I heard that you, well, how do I put this delicately? I make things, and I can't help but notice that you use a brace, and I wondered if you'd want something a little more mobile."
I don't have any money. Or
no,
like
not
the
for money.
Documentation for it.
No.
Like the paperwork.
We don't use money here. That's a human invention. I love human inventions. I tinker with a lot of them. But no, we don't use money here. We use belief. But even so, you don't have to pay me anything. I just want to do something for you because I think Pendragons are just great.
If you feel guilty, you can always trade your painting.
It's not exactly
Do a different painting or something.
I'll be right back. And she heads off.
They said I don't need money. I don't know what's going on. Everything costs money.
Not
comes back
here.
with
I'm not used to this.
She comes back a few minutes later with a leg brace much like the one that you used, but this one is some kind of shimmering gold material. And there's a couple of like gems set in the hinges that as you touch it, it glows in your hands. And she says, "Oh, good, I got the belief resonances just right. I think it'll fit, and I think you'll like it. Do you have my permission to help you try it on?" Okay, she helps you undo your usual brace and helps you put it on. Makes some small adjustments and says, "Oh, just tighten a little screw here and just there. How does that feel? It's not pinching or anything. It's not." And how it feels is like you're not wearing anything. The metal is cool against your skin at first, makes you wince a little, but it soon just heats to the temperature of your body temperature. And when you try it out, your knee is as mobile as your good knee.
This is free?
Oh yes, it's for you to use to help to gather belief to heal the world tree. And also I would just do it because, I think everyone deserves to feel good.
This is perfect.
Oh, I'm so glad. And I'm so happy to have helped. I'm going to be at your party later. It would be great to have a chat and get to know you a little better. If that's okay.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Well, wonderful. It's so rare you get to help a Pendragon. Well, thank you. And she just heads off through the stacks.
You're not getting out of learning choreographed dances now.
Are you kidding? I'd love to learn some choreographed dances now.
Okay, this one's called the default dance.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so you do some choreographed dancing. Is there anything else anyone wants to achieve while you're at the Soaring Archive?
I think I've asked all my questions. I'd like to observe the glow myself, but yeah.
Okay, so you take your time here, and sooner or later, Scriv appears and says, "Okay, wonderful. I see nothing has burned down. That's excellent. Good progress. Oh, Ellie, you have something new. Well, that looks very, very swish, very nice. Okay, is everybody
Ellie,
ready
show
for a
them what
party?"
you can do. Default dance.
The glow gather around to watch you do a dance in the library sort of lobby, and everybody's like,
Pass this down among your families for generations to come.
They start joining in. Doing it in the air. The whole thing turns into a flash mob, and Screamer's like, this is really wonderful, but we do, Cecily, make them stop. And Cecily's just like, joins in.
Yeah.
No, please, we don't want to be late for the party. We don't. That's wonderful, but we can
dance
do it
on our way
party.
to the party.
Okay, that's a great compromise. Look at us working together as a team. Wonderful.
Conga
Okay,
line!
saddle up onto the ponies. The ponies nodding their heads along. Okay, so you head over to the School of Shaping, which you've heard is a school where worms who have taken the treaty with the other Fae and have decided to help teach shaping to all of the other creatures of the Isles live and work. It is, unlike the other buildings around it, it isn't in the crowd of the city. It's set in these beautiful gardens, wide open, lots of space, a few trees here and there, but fewer than you would expect, and a large sort of kidney-shaped lake around one side. The building itself is tall, but not as tall as the other spires, and wide, like a drum. You see the same perches on the outside of it as you saw on other buildings, but some of them here are much larger perches, more like a drawbridge held by chains with large portals, and you figure these must be for worm access. The other portals that you've seen are quite small and probably wouldn't fit someone the size of, say, Sita. You head in past various classrooms, and you see glow students and other fae running around, coming in and out of their final classes where they've been learning shape, and you see them demonstrating things like throwing a bird of fire up in the air to fly around their heads, or shaping their various elements, and of course a lot of them turn to see you and sort of line the hallway to watch you pass and sort of wave and mutter amongst themselves. You are taken up to the roof of this building, which is circular like the rest of the building, but here there's kind of a wildflower meadow has been planted with a few trees and bushes and things. You have a quite stunning view of the rest of the city skyline, including the light lift, which is this, even up close, this sort of strange shaft of sunlight that reaches up towards the sky, but from closer up you can see the various glow like moving around it, working on it, adding their own shaping to it to help it grow taller. You see various marquees and gazebos put out for the party. A dance floor has been laid. And yeah, you are welcomed there by a gathering of people, including Dawn Shadow Dancer, the head of the School of Shaping, who greets you and says, I hope that my cousin Sita has been doing a good job with you all. I hear that you are making wonderful progress. If you want to visit us any time and help polish up your skills, I'm sure that would be easy to accommodate. Thank you for honouring us with having your party on our roof. We are so thrilled to have you. Do enjoy the refreshments. And she kind of lumbers off and starts talking to another guest. You see Aoife is there, the librarians are there. There's some, glow kids running around, playing with wooden swords, shouting, I'm a Pendragon, I'm a Pendragon. Scrib says, oh, there really is somebody you should meet. And she sort of scans the crowd and says, follow me, and sort of leads you through the crowd towards a glow who is in golden robes, the same brown and cream sort of feathers, but wearing a slight circlet of gold and in golden and white robes. And Scrib approaches and bows low, curtsies low in front of this person and stands and says, Pendragons, may I present you to Una O'Mara, the current elected leader of the Glow. Una's like, wonderful to meet you all. Welcome to our city. I'm very excited to have you. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. I will chat to you in a moment, but for now, I think it's about time we did a welcome for everybody. So sort of taps on the side of a glass and everybody calms down and sort of settles. She sort of raises up in the air a little bit on wings that allow her to sort of hover there like an angel and says, thank you, everybody. Today, we welcome our newest guests from the human world. For the citizens of Roost, it is always an honour to be the first to welcome new Pendragons to the Isles, and a great joy to watch them grow in courage, knowledge, skill, and friendship. We are especially delighted to welcome Morgan, a descendant of Lynette Pendragon, who you will remember earned the title Lynette the Relentless among our people for her tireless work on the Overisles Accord. Sadly, Lynette did not stay with us long. We hope to get to know you better, Morgan. And with that said, I will stop bothering you all and say, enjoy the festivities. And everybody politely claps. Some of the kids cheer. You look around and there are various party games that you could get involved with. there are a group of kids playing a game that you can see where they are floating some kind of paper fairy between different obstacle course rings.
Oh,
You also see a sign that says "Dance off, winner gets the golden feather." Is there anything that you want to be doing or engaging with? You actually see Apollonius off at the other end with his butterfly house, kind of coaxing them and whispering to them.
cool.
I want to do all of it.
Same.
Dance off though, I think, is Dahi's main squeeze.
Okay, so Dahi is going to enter the dance off. That's
Mhm.
in a little while. What else are people doing? There's refreshments, there's food, there's people to talk to. Are you just mingling? What would Bobby do in this situation?
Yeah, I
A goth
think
at a party?
Yeah, Bobby is looking for like a quiet corner, maybe with some beautiful garlands or archways to sort of artfully sit under in a gloomy fashion.
Yeah, those are definitely there. You can sort of sit under them in a gloomy fashion and take pictures. While you're there, one of the kids comes over and goes, "Are you a Pendragon?"
Yeah, I guess so.
Why are you here? Are you shy?
I guess you could call it that. I tend to find lots of people in one place a bit overwhelming. It's really nice. This is lovely, but I don't really know anyone here apart from like my fellow Pendragons, and they seem to want to like go and do loads of stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I just need a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm shy too. My name's Oretti. Can we be friends?
Oh.
Yeah, we can be friends.
She just gives you a very spontaneous hug and then runs away. And you just hear her shouting, "I'm friends with the Pendragon! I know one of the Pendragons, I'm friends with them!" Goes back to the game that everybody is playing where they're shaping gusts of air or flames to heat the air in this little, you see it's like a paper fairy with a bell skirt that's almost like a little hot air balloon that's being blown up, and there are these rings that they're trying to guide them through that are
It's
floating in
Flappy
midair.
Bird.
It's Flappy Bird.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Also, I want to say after that, at some point, before the dance off, Dahi's just going up to anybody who wasn't at the painting. So Briar, Bobby, and Morgan, and just being. So I guess Bobby first, just to be a little stinker about it. Just goes up, Bobby.
Yeah.
Did you get the Excalibur off of the glow? Do you have it?
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm not sure. As in, when you gave,
I gave it over to them. I
Oh.
left to go do art. You guys left to come here. Who picked up Excalibur?
oh, I was taking loads of pictures. Sorry, I don't think I grabbed it.
It's
At
okay.
this point,
That's
Scriff comes over with it and it's just like,
Yeah, my God.
I didn't even unsheath it once. I didn't even unsheath it. I didn't do
Myro
it.
just handed this back to me. Apparently, you left it in one of the rooms of the library.
I left it with the responsible three.
Well, I want to enjoy this party and I want you to enjoy this party, so I won't say any more. Just take it and just take better care.
You got it.
I'll see you at the dance off. And sort of walks
Okay.
off.
Also, Bobby, about the crowd thing, is it the noise that gets to you or just the crowd? And, like, people?
Yeah, it's just the noise doesn't help, but it's mostly just the lots of people I don't know.
Okay, because I
mean-
got a spare set of headphones if you need.
That's Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. Thank you.
Okay, I do not have anything to attach them to, but they should be noise canceling enough.
Okay, yeah. Like, honestly, sometimes at home, I would just like put my headphones on to listen to something and then forget
Yeah.
when it stopped playing and just keep wearing them around the house all day. So that's kind of comforting. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. I gotta go to the dance off though, so
Yeah, you,
stay
you
cool,
hear somebody
buddy.
going, dance off starting in 5 minutes.
Stay chill, buddy.
Thank you. I'm sure you're gonna do great.
What is
Runs
Briar up to while all this is going on?
I think Briar's probably talking to Aoife because, like, that's a Pisky, which is supposed to be my friend.
Aoife's like, oh my gosh, are you a descendant of Kevin?
The bird?
No, Kevin the Giant Slayer. He helped us. We got a little too ambitious. The story goes we got a little too ambitious with one of our automatons. We put a little bit too much belief into it, and it just went a bit haywire. It happens sometimes. So then a Pendragon called Kevin came along and saved us all. And there's a statue of him in my village.
I had a dream about it, so I think that must be right.
Well, it's an honor to meet a descendant of Kevin.
I didn't know his name was Kevin.
Kevin's a solid name.
Oh, so Kevin's suddenly not a good enough name for you?
Once it's been associated with a child bird that's afraid to fly.
I'm sorry to have offended you, but he's a
no,
hero.
No, I'm surprised.
It's Kevin the Brave.
I didn't know anything about it. You know, like Morgan, knows stuff about her ancestor, I guess, but I didn't even know anything until I got here and then I had that dream, but nobody said Kevin in the dream, so I just didn't know.
Well, if you come and visit Barrow, we can tell you everything we know about Kevin and any other Pendragons who came through. We'll be so excited to have you. We'll throw you an even better party than this.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'll ask Scriv if we can come. I'd really like to.
Oh, it's all part of the tour, but there's always a set order that they do things in, and we don't come to Barrow first, as much as we ask them to. But it's
What's
tradition.
the order?
Oh, I don't remember it all. I know that you go to Avalon next.
Ah, yes.
That makes
The
sense.
mists of the maps.
Are you trying to test me or something? There's only so much prep I can do for every conversation.
No, I'm not trying to test you. I just am excited to go. So they don't really.
Well, I'm excited to have you there, and look me up when you're there. I'm Aoife. I was in the library at the same time as you, but I think I only met your other two friends. But yes, you'll be very welcome, and my whole family will cook for you. We'll celebrate. It'll be wonderful. So you're more than welcome.
Can I give you a gift?
Oh.
A gift from a Pendragon? What would that be?
I'm going to give Aoife my cell phone, my smartphone, because presumably it doesn't really work here because there's no bars. But
you can kind of use the apps, but there's like no calls, no nothing.
So
Not
I'm
sync
like,
your data.
I don't know when the last Pendragon was here, but you just and I go over and show it my face and then.
How much
Face
belief do you
ID
need to power something like this? It's so impressive. And she taps on something and what apps does Briar have on her phone?
Oh no.
What games do you have on your phone?
Yeah, probably
You have games
some puzzle games.
She gets into the puzzle game and she's like
Candy
the test tube one with the different colors, and she's just
Yes.
when you do this and you do this, and
connect the dots that they don't intersect.
Yeah.
She stops for a second and just like, this is the greatest gift I've ever been given.
I'm glad. I haven't really had time to use it, so and my mom always tells me I should be on my phone less anyway, so.
I don't know if you know this, but Piskies, we get the well-wishers to bring us human technology so we can tinker with it. And
that's what I heard. That's why I thought I might want to
so
give it to you.
Precious to us, and I can't wait to tinker with this. Just after I solve this puzzle.
Oh no. I
3 days later.
Yeah.
I try to clear off some of any of my personal information off of it.
She's like, oh, of course.
Sign out of your iCloud, yeah.
You can't access that here. So, okay, everybody is forming up for the dance off on the dance floor. Everybody's kind of limbering up. You see Scriv is there, and she's like, do you know, in my day, I did ballet, and I was actually quite good. I mean, not that good, but I was actually quite good. And sort of limbering up and getting ready. Just as as Una, the leader, comes forward and says, okay, so the rules are that the klaxon will sound and then you will dance, and then we will vote on who is the weaker pair, and they will dance off against each other, and then we will eliminate them, and so on. And explains the rules.
I'm not losing another tournament. Do you hear me?
What style of, so the klaxon sounds, and what style of dancing is Dahi doing?
Oh, he's breakdancing, but he's doing that, like, you know, where they like spin around on the floor, but he's signing at the same time to produce air as a whirlwind.
Very cool.
Amazing.
Very cool.
Up into
he's got to step up his game.
And everybody is dancing, but they kind of stop to stare and are just like, and even the glow who can fly are just like, how is he doing that? And they try and like spin in the air on wings, but wings are a bit ungainly for spinning, and it just like is really difficult. So yeah, you're dancing away. You feel like you've got this. You feel like you may well win this, but just as it's reaching its height, you hear somebody call out, what's happening? And you all look off to one side and you see a dark shape next to the light lift. And you see this shaft of sunlight being infected with shadow and dispersing. You see dark winged shapes swirling around it, and one large dark shape next to it. You see glow rushing away from the sight of it, flying away from it. Everybody around looks terrified, and they look to you. The children run towards you and say, the Pendragons, and gather around you. Some of the glow who are there get up and say, we have to take care of the light lift, and fly off towards it. Scriv is like, we have to help these people. We have to get everybody inside. We don't know what could be coming. A minute later, at most, you see the dark form of the Black Knight on the back of a giant black worm appear around the side of the building and look down at you and begin to shape.
No,
and
what?
That's where we're going to leave it for this week.
No! I charge at him!
You're busy dancing.
No, I get up. This is my mortal enemy. I was gonna win the dance off, but he interrupted me.
The last thing I will say is that one of you recognizes the person in the armor, and I want you to decide which of you recognizes them.
Ooh.
I already have a beef with this guy because he interrupted my dance off, so I'm okay if one of you guys say that.
Okay.
I have enough
If
personal
Ellie would like to
vendetta against
recognize this person, I will send you details of who they are in
cool.
private, Nox, and you can have that bit of lore to drop next time.
Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Bobby is thinking to herself, how come I am less scared of the Mordred person than I am of a freaking party?
Why am I less scared of the Mordred person
believable
than I am of Dahi being mad that he didn't get to win the dance off because of them?
It's on. Okay, great. So, with that, I suppose we'll do our outro. I have been Iris Burke, your Grail guide for this evening. She, her pronouns. I run a games company called Buttonkin Games. You can find me on a website, buttonkin.com. I will go to my players and I will go in the reverse order that I did in the first place. So, Nox, tell people who you are, who you've been, where they can find you.
Hi everyone, I'm Nox Kiros. You can find me over at Noxternal_7 on all the social medias. And you can find me here all week because I've practically, I keep joking, I've practically taken over. I'm in 4 different shows. 2 of them are on Friday. The first one is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is As We Ran Through Rotten Wonderlands, which is Arnika's birthday celebration. It's a Troika and Guardians of Yin mashup where she got 3 of us to come, and we're playing like fictionalized versions of ourselves. It's super fun. That night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Gently on the Wind, I think is what it's called, which, okay, I got thumbs up, which is a Valor style game. And I will be playing Lucinda, who is one of the magical students at the school. And then Saturday, I'm GMing. I'm running a Kids on Brooms game called School of Stars. We have 4 episodes left. Everyone's very terrified. It's kind of like a mystery, potential murder mystery. Nobody's died. Well, one person died, but it's fine. They
Otherwise,
walked
how
it
would
off.
there be a mystery?
So they walked it off. They're fine. But it's just really, really fun. And that's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah. How's Ellie?
Amazing. Thank you. Fiona.
Oh, so hello. My name is my name is Fiona. I've been playing Morgan. Morgan. Get there eventually. And yeah, she, her pronouns for both of us. So when I'm not not being like, maybe I should take on the surname of the Relentless for all of my characters from now on. You can find me as the host of What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast. We do different systems every couple of episodes. We have The Between coming out just now. I'm also the co-host of the DM's Book Club, which is a weekly book club podcast about Dungeons and Dragons and how we could improve it, because it definitely needs improving. I always end with a recommendation for a different RPG. That's what I was busy trying to look up, thinking like, what could I actually recommend? And the one I'm going to go with is one I've actually played really recently for another podcast, which is called Rendezvous with Destiny Outcast, with some of my friends there. Where I'm going to recommend Fate Accelerated, but specifically Dresden Files Accelerated. So if you are a big fan of Dresden Files, or if you're a big fan of systems that are really straightforward and simple to come up and very improv-y and stuff and just easy to go, I highly recommend Fate Accelerated by Evil Hat Games. Evil Hat Productions, apologies. But also, if you want a specific one, then Dresden Files is quite an interesting one with all the different fae and whatnot as well. But yeah, really enjoying it. I don't know what we're going to do. So exciting stuff. So thank you very much.
Amazing. Gaskinator.
Hello, I am Gask. I'll just do that much. Yeah, I've been here. I will be places. Maybe try and find me. That's a good plug, right? Yeah, it's a
That
challenge.
sounded like a challenge.
Where's Gaskinator?
Try and find me. Yeah, but as far as TTRPG streams, I'm limited to this one every week because we're building back up spoons, baby, and this is the perfect spoon filling back up a TTRPG. This has been so much fun. But yeah, that's basically all you need to know about me, so thank you.
Lovely. And Maddie.
Yes, I have been Maddie. I'm never sure which way around that goes. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Maddie_abstract, where there's a link in the bio to all the various things that I do, including I'm one of the core cast members on Realms of Peril and Glory, which is an actual play podcast. We are currently recording our second campaign of Veil, which is a 13th age game, where I'm playing a different anxious goth, because that's my type, apparently. You can also find on Twitter at Game of One's Own my upcoming solo and 2-player RPG podcast. There's no episodes out yet, but you can still subscribe to the feed so you can see as soon as the first episode comes out, and there's a little trailer there. So yeah, do check it out.
Okay, great. And Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'll actually remember to do my sign this time. And you can follow me on Twitter, Roll for Felicity, and Tumblr, Roll for Felicity. Tumblr's, I'm doing more long form stuff there. Twitter, you can keep up with the stuff that I'm up to. And then also I stream on Twitch, Tabletop RPGs. twitch.tv/roll4felicity. I'm taking like not a break, but I haven't scheduled my stuff for next month yet because I was like, I'm tired. But next month I'm going to play a bunch of 2-player tabletop RPGs. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see when I'm announcing that stuff, which I'm really excited for. And then of course I'm here. And then I've also on Thursday nights, I'm on Dungeon Mom's channel. That's Dungeon Mom, except for with zeros instead of O's, playing Kids on Bikes. So that's the main stuff that I've been doing. And yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Best cast. Okay, so we are next going to raid Chaotic Neutral Goblin, who's doing some homebrew world building, which is my fave. Remember, our creator app is always open if you want to run games for the channel. Remember, if you enjoyed this, to subscribe, follow, all the good stuff. And we will be back here next week at the same time with the next part of our Inspirisles installment. Thank you very much. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.